Alright, what is up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre community Rite Nite, and that means some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre featuring primarily the peoples from the Rite Club Discord server. If you are interested in joining said Discord server, getting more involved in all this stuff, that link right there is the best way to do so, but, that does not mean that you and chat are off the hook. No, no, no. You see that red circle with the white L below chat? You click on that, you'll see all the various requests that you can make for this stream. Everything ranging from picking specific exiles, masteries, talismans, arenas, songs, even Titan stars. All that stuff is fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into the versus mode screen, and let's get going. And before I forget, why don't I jump into said Discord group as well. Alright, there we go. And let's see, so chat, if we're looking for someone to get us started today, who would be available to get things kicked off? Let's also, in the meantime, take a quick second here, reset ourselves a bit to our default settings. Now, I know I heard at least one person was saying to me that they may not be able to make it today. One of our regulars, so to speak. But, hopefully we can still get things started up in full, and then it may take a little bit longer for people to get filed in, as per usual. I don't know, Nor, you tell me? Where'd everyone go? What's everyone doing on a Sunday? What's up, Cranium? What's up, iRotor? iRotor, it's been a little while since you were in on the action. Are you available today? It'd be great to get you back in. Of course, Nor, happy to get you as well. Cranium, I don't think we've had you play at all yet. Maybe for a few games? Alright, yeah. That certainly works for me. Why don't I send you an invite then? And I may need to boot up Steam Friends real quick here. That I do. And then do we have anyone who would like to go up against iRotor here? Find ya. Okay, invite sent. So we have one for the first match. Anyone else? And iRotor, which triumvirate would you like to be today? Is it withdrawn?
Yeah, it's withdrawn.
Awesome. Okay, let me get your name up here, and we'll put you in as player one. In the meantime, chat, let us know if anyone else wants to hop in against iRotor here. Otherwise, I mean, I can fill in if necessary, but prefer to get you all in as early and often as we can. Okay. Got iRotor all set and ready to go. Put you here as well. Anyone else? Like I said, I mean, I can jump in if necessary. But I know we have at least some people here. If your ping decides to behave today, then that should work. Well, hopefully the internet gods are working in our favor today. Of course, no real knowing for sure until we test them. We're willing to give it a shot? Okay. Let's get an ore in then. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Invite sent to you and Nor. I'll set you up here. And it'll be Night Wings for you, right? Oh, although remind me, iRotor, do you tend to go mouse keyboard or do you go controller? Because I know Anor definitely prefers to go mouse keyboard.
I can do both, but I have more practice with controller.
Oh, okay. No, that works well then. Okay, so we'll put Anor player 2 here on the Night Wings as mouse keyboard, and then iRotor you can stick with controller. And Anor, why don't we just check real quick, make sure that the controls are the way we would like them to be. Does that look right to you? All good? Okay, and chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for this first Rite between iRotor and Anor. Otherwise, you know, we could give them a chance to warm up a little bit here. As we said, been a little while since we last had iRotor, and Anor still checking to see if the internet is going to be particularly cooperative or uncooperative today. Anor says, yeah, things look good to go, at least for now, on my end. Okay, so why don't we get started then, and we'll just have you two take whatever specific teams you'd like to take, no specific requests.
Good evening, exiles.
Good evening.
Welcome to the spring of Jomia. At stake here in this rite is your salvation. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. The withdrawn.
Now we need to remember that I'm player 2. Yeah, you're the Night Wings, if that helps. This will be iRotor here.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
And again, no requests, so feel free to take whatever you'd like. And iRotor's looking at a quick throwing crone. Now remember, those crone throws are unblockable. Normally they do take a long time to get off, but if you have the quick throwing talisman, that makes a huge difference. They become very dangerous then. And then, of course, classic Anor strats. Full Fred, nutrition stick, in the first spot. Wouldn't have it any other way. Now, second spot's looking like it's going to be Tizo on the Lanthorn, so super strong defensively in that spot for iRotor after taking more of an offensive first player. Now, Nor going Orlek. I believe this is generally the second or third exile that Nor tends to take when she's going with full Fred. Black Claw as well. Bold Cursed Talisman strats. Then Dalbert here, another more offensively oriented character for iRotor, especially with the prayer bead. So we'll see a thrower in the first spot with Bertrude, and then in that last spot there with Dalbert, more of a plunging scorer. Yeah, no worries, Nor, if you want to. You're welcome to. Happy to have you. And then Nor also going with Web Lanthorn Tizo. And be mindful of Anor did go all the way down for the super portals, gaining infinite stamina whenever she goes through one of those Tizo portals. But here we go, first Rite of the night, and big play there. Double banishment from iRotor. Scoops up the orb and wants to get that throw off, and does. So iRotor with the quick start here. Remember, that throw means that, of course, iRotor will be at full strength. No one getting permanently banished. But here's Volfred on the move, and he is very dangerous in Anor's hands. He's down here. Orlek and Tizo on the defense. Dalbert can't snake his way around Tizo, who banishes and then brings back Volfred, although now Orlek down. He goes down, Volfred does. Tizo sidesteps the cast there, but oh, look at this again. iRotor sees the opportunity, oh, but just misses the mark. And banish before he can follow up to throw it again. I rode her with a couple of times now where has seen a free orb, scooped it up quickly with Bertrude. Oh, look at this! Nor with the sneaky strats with Volfred. So elusive, so hard to keep track of him. You just never quite know how far he's going to end up going with those blinks. And now here's Orlek plunging for 25. Now, he does not have prayer beads, so that means that Nor will be down a character. Look at that. Volfred beams himself up to the orb and then shields to avoid the defender. Does go down here. Orb would have hit Anor's Pyre and then bounces out. But Numbing Gust means that Iroder was not able to throw the orb until Anor got any exiles back, and by that time, it was too late. Anor able to intercept. Oh, and Volfred, not quite enough distance on that blink. That's the last of Anor's exiles here. Once again, Iroder can't jump, sprint, or throw the orb until Anor gets people back, and once she does, goes sprinting in with Dalbert, but he gets blocked. Anor trying to go through that portal to get the infinite stamina, and there is Volfred on the move again. Oh, and nearly blinked straight into the Pyre there. Just inches away. But look at that, Iroder's, yeah. Iroder's portal directly on top of or right next to Anor's Pyre. That is extremely dangerous. Anor knows it. Okay, but now the portal has changed spaces. No longer quite as dangerous, but once again, everyone banished on Anor's side. Iroder needs to ask himself, willing to go with the throw? Oh! Would have thought would have needed to plunge, but had just the right timing there to get a throw off, just as Anor was getting someone back. Not quite full damage, but did still get the score there while keeping everyone in, and once again, everyone on Anor's side banished. Same question. Is it worth going for the plunge, or waiting for someone to come back and then throwing? And yes, once again, Iroder does pull it off. And that throw is unblockable, so if the throw is quick enough, then there's no stopping it. Orlek down here. Volfred back with Tisa's Web Lanthorn banishment. Now Volfred on the move. And Anor plunges with him. And that drops Iroder down to 25 Pyre life. Anor down to 16 herself. That means one score either way could do the trick. And there it is. Orlek with the winning plunge. Great game. Classic Anor, indeed. Linking straight into the Pyre with Volfred. Well done. Alright. Let's head on back. And chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for the next Rite.
Until the next Rite.
And don't forget, we got a Civil War to fund here. Thank you for reminding us, Cam. I mean, we got a ton of contributions last week. So, we're pretty far along, I think. Alright, no worries, Anor. In the meantime, while Anor is grabbing some headphones and hopping into Discord, chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for the next Rite. We know Anor would like to stick with Volfred with the nutrition stick. Are we willing to keep going with that? Or do we need to find a way to nerf Anor after those dramatic blinks into the Pyre with Volfred? Maybe, maybe not. Iroder, we saw it, especially at the beginning of that previous Rite, very dangerous with Bertrude on the quick throwing talisman. We'll also turn off the sermon intro now that we've completed our introductory Rite. Oh, I also don't have Anor's name showing up here. Hold on. I typed it in, but I don't think I unhid it. There we are. Okay. In case there was any question as to who player 2 was in the previous Rite, yes, it was Anor. It was Anor. Then again, I mean, you saw the distinctive Volfred nutrition stick plunges, so you knew it was her anyway, right? You didn't need the name.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going? How have you been, Anor?
No, thanks.
Discord seemed like it's working out. We can hear you.
Just-
That's a good sign.
I'm just not really
Okay, it may have ducked out a little bit there. I heard the first half of that sentence, but not the second half of that sentence.
And that's why I don't really like to use Discord on the phone.
That one was fine. Heard everything there at least, but hopefully that'll
That's
be
fine on my end.
working out fine.
I can
Yeah,
hear you.
Okay then, I'll stick here.
awesome. All right, doesn't look like we have any requests here from chat. Just getting some contributions to the Civil War effort. So let's go into the next rite without any requests. We'll just have you two pick whatever you want.
The withdrawn versus the Nightwings. Welcome.
Just take whatever you'd like here.
Shall conduct the
I mean, it was a close rite in the previous one, of course, so it'd be interesting to see if people go with similar strats here, although already we see iRotor switching things up a bit. Going with the Vengeful Vow Gilman. Tends to be the, at least, meta talisman decision on Worms, and then Anor is sticking with the Nutrition Stick Volfred. Worked well in the previous rite, of course.
Volfred.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anor was in, at the very beginning, first one or two Rite Nights when we had her. I know she was in Discord, but then I think for a long while in between, we'd not had her in, so it's been a while. But yes, I think we definitely have had her in, at least briefly, early on. But yes, absolutely Pog. No question. Okay, Anor is switching things up a bit here, going with Headwind and Typhoon Bottle. Then similar with iRotor here, also changing things. Went with the quick throwing Crone last time. This time, going with the quick throwing Savage with Ulmer. So not unblockable throws, albeit probably a little bit faster. Then back to the Webland Thorn T-Zone, the last spot for Anor. So here we go, round two between these two. And Volfred and Gilman crash into each other. Oh, a shoulder smash. Gets rid of Ulmer there. Strong defensive plays there from Headwind for Anor. And banishes Ulmer again, that time just by standing there. He dunks for 20 for Anor. Though iRotor did take some additional starting Pyre life. So technically speaking, despite Anor scoring first here, iRotor still in the lead for now. But here is Volfred, always dangerous. And oh, there it is!
Wonderful performance, Volfred.
Just teleports behind you. Gilman, that throw was unblockable, but it was maybe just slightly short. It was. So Anor picks it back up here. Edwin, Tizo. Now this is the problem. Anor probably would very much prefer to be scoring with Volfred here. No, but does still manage to do so with Edwin. I was gonna say, gonna need to find a way to score with someone else when Volfred's permanently banished, but no problem that time. Gilman, he plunges for iRotor. 15 damage there. But no prayer beads on him, so he's not coming back. Means numbers advantage for Anor, and you see Volfred coming, and you can't help but panic a little bit. Quick throw there from iRotor, well played. That's what Ulmer's there for. And that means that iRotor is back at full strength now. And now we are tied up at 65 apiece as well. Volfred. Shields. Can't escape the second attack though. Typhoon Ball triggers here as everyone is gone for Anor. And then, oh, look at that. Actually a 25 damage plunge for iRotor because he had Seize Chance active after banishing someone recently. Free orb here. Anor picks it up with Headwind. Volfred gets it back. He's on the move here. He's speedy. But Ulmer takes him out. But gets banished before he can hop away from Tizo. And Tizo with an open score here. Oh, look at that though. What? Anor trying to set up the score from someone else, perhaps? Deliberately imploding with Tizo in order to set up a portal play? Rather than going for the free score? Is this what Anor was going for? It could have been. Says, I don't need the 15 damage with the free Tizo throw. I'm going with the Volfred plunges. It's my thing. Oh, and look at that. I wrote her banished, but does still get the throw off in time. That drops an ore down to 25. Yeah, you don't see those plays very often. Bold strategy, but oh! Fulfred was close to the Pyre, but was at an awkward distance where he kind of had to throw it, and it does take a while to get those sap throws off. Oh, and speaking of throws, intercepted here from Anor. Fulfred, is he within range? He is! He goes down here. Fulfred comes back directly on top of the Pyre. Has the orb. Goes for the throw. And Anor makes it in for 15 damage. Had to cut it a little bit short. But that was significant. Getting Iroder down to 25 means that a Fulfred plunge would be enough to do the trick. And nearly makes it in there, but banished by Iroder. Anor also down to 25. Intercepted here, although Anor does, of course, have Fulfred and may have some rekindling. Fulfred, gets banished right before it makes it into Iroder's Pyre there. Now Iroder on the move with Gilman here. Seize Chance is active, so it was actually enough to reduce Anor's Pyre life down to 0, but that was her rekindling triggering there, getting her down to 10. This throw, intercepted. So yes, one score would do it from anyone for Iroder. One score from specifically Fulfred would do it for Anor. Here is Fulfred. Oh, and you could just tell Anor was waiting to bait out the defender and then blink behind him. Now, Tizo, I do not believe has the extra 10 damage for Anor, so I think it does need to be Fulfred if it's going to be Anor trying to win this in one score here. Fulfred down, but he comes back here. Oh, and dangerous portal positioning here. Anor with the orb. With Fulfred. Has to elude the defenders. Oh, and has to settle for the throw, but he's not quick enough. It takes a while to get those sap throws off. Oh, look at that, though. Anor through the portal to banish. Wants to get Fulfred over here, though, as we were saying. He has the most damage. And he's on the doorstep. He makes it in for the winning plunge. GG.
GG.
Bunch of close matches between you two. These have been great. Alright. Let's head back to versus mode and chat. Let us know if there's anything you want to see between these two in particular. Then again, I mean, we're just letting them pick whatever they want to pick, and they've all been good fights. Absolutely mental, the sap scoring strats.
I'm actually interested where is this new guy, Zavardo, because he said that subs may be not really good.
Excuse me? Someone saying that saps are not good? Anor took that personally.
Well, I mean, I didn't think that either. And here I am, with subs. Who would have thought?
I mean, Anor definitely, more so than anyone else in the Rite Club, I would say, has mastered the art of the offensive saps. I mean, there are a lot of people who just don't like to play with saps at all. Then I'd say next, there are the people who are fine with the saps, but they use them defensively, which generally is the thing that people say they're best at doing. Then there's Anor, who finds a way to score with them consistently. Exactly. Anor will remember that. Any requests here from chat, or should we have these two go back at it? Looks like that may be the case, so let's do it. Yeah, we'll let them choose. Okay, where we end up this time? Blade of Lu, oh man. The Sap Arena, if you will.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Starts out nice and open, then becomes one of the smallest arenas in the game. We'll see how that may change their strategies here, but Anor sticking with what she does best here. Nutrition stick Volfred.
Volfred.
Then Lendl, okay, we've not yet seen Iroder take a Nomad, I don't think. So this may be a specific Blade of Lu strat. Additional starting Pyre life.
It's the same composition as last game.
Oh, it is? Okay. My apologies. I forgot. But also, letting Anor in on the inside details, perhaps. Telling us what the last exile is going to be as well. Anor is going with the Typhoon bottle on Headwind, which I believe was what she went with last time as well. Yeah, it was a quick throwing Almer in the last spot last time from Iroder. If we are to believe what Iroder said previously, then yes, that will be the third exile as well this time. And Anor sticking with Lanthorn Tizo. Lanthorn Tizo will be the super portals. That it will. So here we go. Start things off here. Things will be nice and open. Lots of room to move around, but that will change quickly. Anor probably looking to bring back Volfred here, unless she can score with Headwind. But he gets stopped. Volfred back now. And that Worm Throw is unblockable, but it has a very short range. Volfred. Tizo down here, but Volfred is the one who's dangerous, of course, at least certainly in Anor's hands. But he gets stopped. And Tizo goes crashing into the other players here. And has banished everyone on Iroder's side. But Iroder comes back quickly here. And Anor with Headwind, considering going through the portal. Oh, look at that. Big explosions from Iroder. Volfred eludes the defender, goes for the throw. Sap throws are unblockable from close range, like that. But Anor had to cut it a little bit short there, so 14 damage with our first score. But like we were saying, Iroder did take the additional starting Pyre life, so Iroder technically still in the lead here, despite Anor having scored first. Headwind takes out Gilman, but Gilman explodes in the process. Volfred links out of the way. Now goes on the attack. Oh, one moment maybe.
Yeah, I have flags as well.
Okay.
I didn't press pause and assume Anor also has.
Any better?
I'm not sure. I still have. Well, now maybe.
Alright, shall I count us down?
Now we have spikes again.
Spikes again? Eesh. And if you'd like, I can uninvite you and reinvite you. That does work in the middle of a ride even. Sometimes that will make things a little bit better. Want to give that a shot?
We can try that.
Okay, let's just go to the pause screen real quick just in case. And then I will uninvite you and reinvite you. Okay, you have been booted. And you have been reinvited. Let us know when you're back in, and then I can give us a countdown, and we'll
I'm back
unpause.
in.
Back in? Okay. Do you can you tell from the menu screen alone if it's any better lag-wise?
It still seems iffy, but we can try.
Okay. Would you like us to just unpause and give you a second to see how it feels, and then I'll count us down?
Sure.
Okay. You want to just move around a little bit, see what this is like? If that's any better? How's that seem?
Should work.
Okay. Alright, let's give it a shot here. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1, resume. Okay, Volfred dodges Gilman here. And yes, as soon as he gets close enough, you know Anor is looking to delve directly in with that huge blink. Unblockable throw. Does it have enough on it? Not quite. Edwin, oh, gets shoulder smash. In fact, that might have been a double shoulder smash. Everyone banished on Nora's side, meaning that the Typhoon Bottle, Edwin's Talisman, does trigger, preventing iRotor from doing any sprinting, throwing, or jumping. Some explosions there. Once again, everyone banished on Nora's side. That's partially because she did opt to plunge with Volfred, so he's not coming back. That unblockable throw, I thought had enough on it, yeah. And 25 damage that time as well. Had banished recently with C's chance, so that triggered. And now the arena starts to get a little bit smaller, and that could change the equation a bit. Oh, look at that, Volfred. The throws, oh, takes a long time to get the throw off, and Anor couldn't quite get it before banished. Almer's throw intercepted here. Headwind. Plunges for 20. And with that, Anor takes a slight lead here. Volfred, banished on the Pyre's doorstep. Almer. The throw goes in for 20. Meaning that iRotor will retake the lead here and keep everyone in the process. Of course, after not plunging. And arena gets smaller still. Volfred. Blink. Ooh, not quick enough to get that second blink off. Still on cooldown. Almer, iRotor looking for an angle to get this throw off. But Headwind was camping the Pyre. When that portal not taking Anor very far. Here's Volfred though. The throw. Make sure to get it in. Cuts it a little bit short in the process. Only 6 damage here. Gilman, that throw. Does that have enough range on it? Not quite. Volfred. On the move. Oh, and in the Pyre. For 25 damage here. Anor retakes the lead, but down her most dangerous character. Almer. Oh, doesn't quite have enough time to get that throw off. Edwin just barely avoids the explosion taking him out there. More lags. So Headwind now has Tizo back, but Anor will not be getting Volfred because, of course, he has permanently been banished after plunging. So this is the situation we saw Anor in previously, where we were asking ourselves, how does Anor find a way to score?
I have a 1 or 2 second delay when I
Okay.
Add summoner, yeah.
Want me? I mean, I can try uninviting, re-inviting you, Anor, if you'd like.
I actually would.
Okay, let me try that then. Let me try that. Okay, you've been booted. And you have been re-invited. iRotor, do you want me to do that for you as well?
I don't think so. I don't think will make a difference a second.
Okay. I'll just take a second here, see how things are feeling. That any better?
A bit better.
Bit better for iRotor. Anor, feel any better for you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Let's resume in 3, 2, 1, go. So Tizo does set up a more advanced portal. But this is the problem for Anor. She's finding herself with primarily defensive characters. Look at that! Lendl just leapfrogs over Headwind and dunks. And in the process, iRotor retakes the lead. That does mean Anor has Volfred back here and is immediately looking to score with him, of course. Oh, and nearly had enough time to get the throw off. It's just a question of how much did Anor want to try to score for. Oh, the throw just barely intercepted by Headwind. Oh, Tizo, look at this. Right next to the Pyre. But I think Anor was looking to bring back Volfred rather than scoring directly with Tizo that time. And that little hesitation might have been the difference between iRotor being able to block it and not. Oh, and now Anor sees the portal, but so does iRotor. iRotor's like, yeah, no, I'm not letting you go through that. Wolfred lunges for 25. And that drops Iroder down to 15, which means any of Anora's Exiles could get the winning score here. Doesn't even need to be Wolfred, her highest damage character, and given how Wolfred is now permanently banished, that could be a factor. Tizo down. Iroder will need at least 2 scores here. Perhaps even more, because I believe Anor has 10 rekindling. But there's Ulmer, plunging for 20. That does mean that now Iroder is down Ulmer, who has, I believe, generally been Iroder's best scorer thus far. Wolfred, he's back now. Anor doesn't necessarily need the full 25 damage, but as we've seen, that is her preferred score, and there it is.
We can try one more time, but at the end it was close to unplayable for me.
Okay.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played.
Until the next.
More close rights between these two. And chat, on the stream side, like just from a watching standpoint, does it seem fine on your end? Is there anything happening on Twitch, or is it just, you know, like Steam remote play giving us a bunch of lag for the players who are streaming in to the actual game itself? Few lag spikes here and there, but generally okay? Okay. Sounds like it's a Steam remote play thing then. Or just general internet across the ocean type thing. So let's at least, it sounds like it's been a little tricky for these two, but let's give this one another shot here, and hopefully remote play / the internet decides to be a little bit better this time round. So let us know, chat, if there's anything in particular that you want to see request-wise.
I kind of think it's because of me, because these 2 Rite Nites, I have something weird with my ping. So maybe that counts.
I don't know.
But I don't think that it should influence my lag.
At times, it's felt like that's been a thing, where previously when we've had bad lag on remote play, when we've been having multiple people remote play in, right? It doesn't make much sense, but I vaguely remember that on a few prior occasions, people have been fine, and then we brought in someone new who was experiencing more lag, and then suddenly it made things worse for both people. Just one of the crazy black magic Steam remote play type things, but that may actually somehow be affecting both of you, but who knows, really? This is remote play we're talking about, right? Nobody understands, not even Steam.
I'm just thinking about last Rite Night when I was going to go against Vela, and he said that he had extreme lag, and you know, that was the time when I couldn't even play.
Yeah, and I mean, Phaler, usually you're fine when you get in here. You're not as close to me as you used to be, but even now, I think, generally speaking, you tend to be fine, lag-wise, so it's a little strange. You know, that kind of supports the theory of, like, basically, Steam remote play, the lag for both players is equal to whatever the worst lag is between the two of you. Like, you know, someone could be right next to me and someone could be halfway across the world, and both people would be experiencing the lag of the person who's halfway across the world. But that's just a theory. A Steam remote play theory. So anyways, let's maybe give this one another shot here, and we'll see how it feels. Not seeing any requests from chat, so we'll just have you two pick whatever you'd like to pick. And I hear the imps. It is the Isle of Kalimur.
The night wings.
introducing just a little bit more chaos into this, right?
Conduct the rites.
So I wrote her going back to the quick throwing crone. Out of curiosity, Nor, were you just moving your cursor like as soon as you saw the your character selection screen show up? Just because I saw it go back over to your side of the screen, and then I saw you like moving around your cursor for a few seconds, like, is it my turn? Is it my turn? Like, oh no, is that a 3-second lag spike or something like that? A 3-second delay? Maybe not even spike?
No, I'm usually doing this when I'm considering what to choose.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
So-
gotcha. No worries then.
This time no lag.
And that's true, because that was Nor picking a different character that time. We saw every time previously was Volfred first with the nutrition stick, but this time it's the stowaway with the quick throwing talisman. Okay, but fear not. Here comes Volfred. And there is the nutrition stick. He's just gonna take the second spot. Don't panic. Don't panic. Maybe just messing with iRotor's head to see if Nor could get iRotor to pick something a little bit different. Going, what? And Nor not taking Volfred? Ah, there he is. Okay, gotcha. Well, Dalbert in the last spot there for iRotor. So pretty aggressive offensive-looking team for iRotor. Then defensive Web Lanthorn T-Zone last spot for Nor. And here we go. Isle of Kalimer, and look at that, Nor teleporting to the orb with the stowaway. Ooh, can't quite make it past the aura of Tizo with that jump. Unblockable throws from Bertrand makes her dangerous, but Nor able to banish her before she can get one of those off. Black magic jumps here from the stowaway. Oh, and nearly found a spot to get a throw off, but iRotor able to defend. Gets a banishment. Oh, and speaking of banishments, once again, Bertrude about to score with the throw, but Nor able to banish her just in time. Here's Volfred, and he has a sapling, giving him a little safety zone, which was close enough to blink into the Pyre from. Good setup there from Nor, and look at that, the stowaway. Intercepted here. Looked like she was on the move, though, and perhaps on the verge of scoring. Dalbert, oh, out of stamina here. Bertrude down. Dalbert down. Stowaway again here. She goes down. Suddenly, Nor defenseless. Did still take the Typhoon Bottle, I believe, so that's why we're seeing unable to sprint, throw, or jump was iRotor, but now the people are back and get that unblockable throw off for 30 damage. Stowaway teleports to the orb again and avoids banishment the first time, but not the second time. Bertrude, big cast. Oh, lags? Probably.
Yep.
Oh, no. How bad is it?
Well, here it is not so bad.
Does it look okay? Once you get back in? Alright, let's resume in 3, 2... Oh, well, or we can do that. Down with Bertrude! Stowaway teleports to the orb and is on the move here, but Dalbert tracks her down. Dalbert, stamina back, launches into the Pyre for a 20 damage plunge. And he did have prayer beat, so he's coming back. The Stowaway picks up the orb here, goes down. Bertrude. Volfred sets up that sapling that worked so well on a previous occasion, giving him a safety zone from which to plunge, but he goes down, and down goes his sapling with it. Stowaway, oh, eludes the defender there, gives him the slip, and then throws it in for 20. Nifty play there. Stowaway, oh, actually, Bertrude had it there. Now Dalbert. Enough stamina to hop in, but he gets blocked just before he makes it in. But attempt number 2, rushes in, another 20 damage plunge. Bertrude. One score here could trigger that rekindling. Rotor starting to build quite a lead. The Volfred plunges for 25, and we're all tied up at 30. Stowaway retreats. Oh, and can't hop before Bertrude chases her down. Here is Bertrude, unblockable throw. Is it within range? Yes, just barely. 25 damage, drops Nor down to 5. But remember, I do believe Nor has some rekindling, so that means that it will take 2 scores for Rotor. And similar story for Nor here. Volfred. He goes down. Rotor can breathe a sigh of relief here. Bertrude, unblockable throw. Does make it in. And that triggers the rekindling. So Nor onto her second life bar. 10 life at that, so just about any score for Rotor would do the trick now. Doesn't need to be picky. Here's the stowaway for Nor. And she plunges. Which is maybe not what she was looking to do, because now the stowaway is permanently gone here. Did not have prayer beads. And again, any score would do it for Nor now. Of course, including Volfred. Into the safety of that sapling. No retreats now. Oh, and nearly linked into the Pyre. Now Nor with just Tiso to defend though. This is dangerous. Opportunity perhaps for Rotor. Moves in with Bertrude. And plunges for the win. GG.
GG.
The lag was better this time for me, but I don't know how it was for you or not.
Yeah, how did that one feel by the end of Nor?
It's complete.
Is it any better once we took a second to pause?
Yes, it became better, but it wasn't enough.
Okay, yikes.
I mean, you could see me teleport.
I think at least once I saw Volfred blink into the side, and then instead of going back toward the Pyre, he just like blinked into the side again and just went nowhere. It's like, I don't think Nor would have done that if there was not lag. I don't think Nor would just go sprinting straight into the wall.
Exactly.
So with that being said, do you two want to give this another shot here? Do you feel like, we've done as much as we can, but the lag is a little too much? What do you think? Is it playable, basically? Or do you feel like, not really? Now Nora's choosing exiles. Yeah, Coranium, if we have either of these two swap out, we'd be happy to get you in. Are we Steam friends, Coranium? If not, then we'll have to do that real quick.
Depends, I can swap out. I have a bit of a headache, so it's fine.
You want to swap out now?
Depends if someone else wants to go in. I'm not sure if Anor wants to stay. Maybe the lag is better with someone else.
Yeah, Nor, how are you feeling? Does it seem okay with the lag, or does it feel like it's unplayable?
It's playable, but I think I'll swap out.
Okay, I mean, up to you. Don't mean to pressure you. Just given how, we've had a few setbacks here, we want to make sure we're not, torturing you by making you play with 3-second lag.
Well, it's not that bad.
Okay, it's not that bad. Come on, it's only 2 seconds. It's not 3 seconds. So why don't we give this one more shot between you two then? Given how Anor was doing this request, and I imagine you were thinking of doing this yourself. Isle of Kalimur and all imps, is that the idea? It's a classic. It's a classic. That might be a good way to wrap things up with these two. Let's give it a shot. then Cranium, we'll see if, you know, once we have one of them swap out, we're happy to get you in.
The withdrawn shall take on.
So request for all imps here from Anor.
Welcome.
So we'll see then. That typically means very defensive, right? It is difficult to score against a group of 3 of what are oftentimes the best defensive class. That means that in terms of setup here, the question is, what can you do to give yourself a little more offense? So that is oftentimes the distinguishing factor from one team to the other. Is who finds a way to sneak past those defenders for a quick score. Alright, Rotor starting off with the defensive staple, the Web Lanthorn. As does Anor.
Tizo.
Then Messenger Imp. Oh, Titan Tooth. Yes, could be very effective. Stunning people that Messenger Imp flies into because, well, with there being so many imps, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for that to take effect, both defensively and offensively. Anor has been using that Typhoon Bottle a lot. That can help. I would say that's mostly a defensive strategy, considering Scribe Rock for the additional aura size as well. Goes that route and the extra damage as well. That can certainly be another distinguishing factor. If you're scoring with 25 damage rather than 15 damage imps, then that will start to add up. Rotor also going for the 25 damage here and goes for Prayer Beads. So if Rotor can get to the Pyre with Tizo, then that is a reliable way of scoring and making sure that Rotor does not go down 1 exile. And Anor is looking to go Typhoon Bottle here. Yes, does stick with it. So here we go. An all-imp matchup. Like I said, I'm expecting strong defensive plays from both players here. The primary question is, how do they find a way to score on that wall of imps? Messenger Imp. Rotor gets the orb back here at full strength. Now an orb back to full strength as well. Raiding some imps here. Rotor through the portal. Gets banished. Now Rotor defenseless momentarily here. Opportunity for Anor. Oh, just inches shy. Rotor. Can't get past Raji. Rotor's attack thwarted. Anor, considering going through the portal, does. Oh, look at that. Clever portal plays there, and does manage to score with a 25 damage imp. So Anor with the first score here, and a big one at that. Another dangerous portal position for Anor. Thinking about going through it. Oh, but gets banished as soon as she does. Look at this. Anor vanishes again, and does have another dangerous portal spot there. But Rotor on the offensive here. Goes down. Anor, oh, does go through the portal, but gets Titan Tooth stunned, and now banished. Opportunity here for Rotor. Just Tizo back to defend for Anor. Rotor with the numbers advantage. Now Rotor banished, but oh, for a moment there, had a very well-positioned portal, but here's Anor going through hers, and gets a throw-off for 15 damage. Now, just 15, like I said, there's definitely a pretty big difference between making a habit of scoring with the 25 damage imps and having the 15 damage imp score, but that was a throw rather than a plunge, so Anor is back at full strength because she did have one of her imps down there after plunging on her first score. Titan Tooth again for Rotor. Stunning Anor. Through the portal goes Rotor, gets infinite stamina in the process, and makes it in for 15 damage plunge. Now, iRotor did take prayer beads, but it was on Tizo, not Messenger Imp. So iRotor is down 1 imp here. Nor thinking about going through the portal. Oh, and gets banished just before she can. Thinking about it. Goes through now. Gets banished. Tizo for iRotor. Goes through iRotor's portal. Ease goes down. Raji. Oh, iRotor looks like looking around for that entrance to the portal. There it is. Always tough when it is hiding off screen. Goes flying in, but banished. Then again, look at where that portal is. That's a very dangerous spot. Anor sneaks past, though, through her portal. And throws it in for 16 here. That means Anor will keep all of her imps. Anor waits for iRotor to commit to the defender, then goes through the portal, but does still get banished here. And sets up a dangerous portal positioning there. Oh, except look at this. Banishes the last of iRotor's exiles near the Pyre. Oh, but goes down. iRotor. Flying in, gets blocked. Now Anor picks it up and has Raji here close to the opposing Pyre and plunges for 25 damage. That drops iRotor down to 19, meaning that another Raji plunge specifically would be enough, although I think that one of Anor's exiles only has 15 damage. Now everyone got on Anor's side, but that did trigger the Typhoon bottle, which makes it tough for iRotor to score. It's blocked here. Now free orb. iRotor seizes that opportunity, plunges, and that was with Tizo. That is iRotor's prayer beads exile. So iRotor is still at full strength here. That is absolutely iRotor's preferred method of scoring. Raji blocked. And banished. Here's iRotor's Raji. He goes down. Tizo goes down as well. This Messenger Imp at the moment for Anor. Banished before he can go through the portal. Raji thinking about that portal, but iRotor has it camped. Anor instead makes a run for it. Raji. Oh, look at that. Clever. Passing the orb and getting that big ore out there with the Scribe Rock. And actually banished one of the defenders in the process, but not enough. Here's iRotor on the counterattack. Oh, look at that opportunity. And it's Tizo again with the plunge. Like we were saying, iRotor's preferred method of scoring. Does keep all exiles here. And does have the 25 rather than just 15 damage plunge. So iRotor catching up here. Would take 2 scores for iRotor, just 1 for Anor. Could this be it? Not quite. iRotor ready to defend. Messenger in. Now Anor going through with Raji. And retreating. Through the portal. But iRotor has it covered. Tizo for iRotor, like we said. That is absolutely the exile iRotor wants to be scoring with. But he goes down. And now no imps, at least momentarily. Anor with Raji. Through the portal, but iRotor has it covered. Immediately banishes. iRotor nearly made it in there. That could have made it a 1-score game on either side. Messenger Imp. Was ready to pass it to a friend, and that friend went down. Through the portal, gets Infinites down in the process, and that is just enough to avoid one defender. And then gets Titan Tooth stunned. iRotor through the portal. Anor able to defend. Raji for Anor. Raji maybe eyeing that portal, but then again, iRotor does have an exile there. Anor, ooh, eludes one defender, then gets banished. Now iRotor with Tizo, perhaps looking to go on the offensive here. Gets past one defender. Oh, not the last one, though. Messenger Imp Goes down. High rotor through the portal. Was in the air, so avoided banishment. And, oh, so close that time. But Nora able to banish. And High rotor, at least for a moment there, was defenseless. Nora banishes 1. Banishes 2. Banishes 3, although now I rotor with 1 imp back. Nora perhaps looking for, the imp strats to rush down the opponent. Oh, and look at that!
GG.
Through the portal for the plunge and the win.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
GG.
The rite is done.
All right, well played, you two.
Until the stars align.
Okay, and why don't we take this opportunity to get Cranium in here? Because I know you were saying you wanted to give it a shot, and I don't believe we've ever had you play yet. So remind me, Cranium, I don't believe we are Steam friends at the moment, but we will need to make that happen, so I can send you some invites to, well, make it happen. But, let me tab out for just a second here. And I forget, we may have even pinned my, my Steam friend code in, Discord so that you guys can see that more easily. Give me just a second here to fish that up. Let me find that real quick and I can send it to you. Then you can send me a friend request and then we can get you in. Or you may have already sent one. You got me already? Okay, yeah. This must be you. Accepted. Perfect. Okay. Great. Alright, and let me turn the screen back on for you guys real quick as well. Here we are. Okay, so if we're looking to get one new person in, I know both iRotor and Ori are saying, maybe I'd swap out around now. I don't know, do either of you want to, or perhaps both of you want to swap out now? How are you feeling?
Do we have a second person jumping in?
I don't think we've heard of a second person volunteering to play, so we can, I think at this point, we can have one of you stay in, one of you swap out, or unless anyone else in chat wants to hop in as well. I don't know, chat. We haven't had anyone raise their hand and volunteer yet in chat, but if anyone's interested, then we can get you in.
Let me swap out then, because my ping decides, I think, if he wants to be bad or not. if it wants to be bad.
Alright, no worries, Nor. Thanks for stopping by today. Happy to have you, and happy to have you back in Discord as well. Hopefully next time we'll have more luck with the ping not being so bad.
Yeah, thanks for the rides, as always.
Of course. Some glorious Volfred winning plunges. Always a pleasure to see. Alright, and then let me get Uranium in
just
here.
to check. GG Editor, I for some reason couldn't.
Yeah, so I've given you the boot in
Can you hear
order, so you should be fine now, but can you... Is something else the matter?
Can you hear me?
I can hear our rotor.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I can hear all of you now. I couldn't hear you for some reason at the end of. So, GG.
GG.
GG. Alright, so we've got Corinium in now. And so I wrote, you want to stick around? How are you feeling?
Well, I can stick around for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, Corinium, why don't we have you go against iRotor for a bit, and then iRotor's been going for a little while, so then if and when iRotor wants to take a break, then we can swap someone else in, and we give you the chance to face off against someone else. Maybe me, maybe someone else hanging out in chat. We'll play it by ear. So, Corinium, let me set you up on stream here. What would you like me to list your name as? Should it be Corinium? Do you have a shorter nickname? What's your preference there?
Either core or Coranium is fine.
Core Corinium? Okay. So I'm going to put you in on player 2 here. I spelled that wrong already. There we go. And Honor, as soon as she gets out of the game, immediately contributes to the Civil War Fund, so well done, Honor. Alright, so we got your name on here. What is your preferred triumvirate, Corinium?
Fate.
Fate? Oh, okay. Got more Fate players. Taylor is happy, I'm sure. Let me take you off Nightwings and put you on the Fate tier. Okay, perfect. Do it on stream as well. And are you generally a controller player or mouse keyboard player? What's your preference?
Yeah, controller.
Okay, perfect. That should be fine. And then we'll go back to random stuffs. Unless, of course, chat, you have anything in mind. But, will we ever have more Fate than Dissonance? We might have more Fate than Dissonance, people, to tell you the truth. I think the Dissonance people are very outspoken, but they may not actually be that numerous. We have a lot of Fate people. Fate may now be the most popular triumvirate. Although this was actually the basis of our second Civil War, was basically people's preferred triumvirates. So, that was an interesting one. And at that point in time, the Beyonders were the most popular. But let's see. So, chat, do we have anything in mind here that we'd like to see between iRotor and Corinium? Or are we feeling like, well, it's Corinium's first right. We'll give Corinium a chance to, well, just, you know, ease into things a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we did. So, in preparation for that Civil War, we did a poll and just asked people what their favorite triumvirate was, and that's how we based that. But that was probably, I don't know, like maybe 9 months ago or something like that, somewhere around there. So that was a long time ago, and I think the dynamic has definitely changed. Many of our Beyonders players are no longer as active, and like we were saying, lots of new Fate people, so that may now be at or near the top of the list. And Corinium, just to check in with you a little bit, so do you have any familiarity with how, or I guess with multiplayer Pyre to begin with? Obviously you've been hanging out in chat, but do we need to run through the basics with you at all, or are you good to just jump right in?
I think I'm good. I've played iRaider before.
Oh, okay, perfect. Not sure why I joined the Pyre Arts. Okay, well, let's get started on this one, and I will explain in due course. And welcome, Cranium, as well, I should say, for what I believe will be your first ride, at least on stream. Maybe you've, like you said, played iRotor behind closed doors. But the reason why I joined the Pyre Arts was because I gained a bit of a reputation for being the Worms guy, so it was just kind of fitting. So no request, so take whatever you'd like here. So that's a simple answer. Basically just, I, for a while, used to lean very heavily on the triple worm strats.
I have enormous spikes at the moment.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That doesn't sound good.
It's freezing.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, yeah. It sounds like it's
Now
not a
it's
Discord thing. Maybe it's a
again.
roleplay thing. But you look fine on the game, because I see you're just waving around the controller and it's still moving. It's not like pausing at any point in time. But would you like me to try to uninvite and reinvite you? Give that a shot?
Yeah, try that one time.
Okay, let's go for that. Okay, booted. Reinvited. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might have been playing as a different triumvirate before I sort of gained that reputation as being the worm guy. May have not necessarily been a consistent team. I think I might have just sort of mixed it around a bit. Those were the early days. Relatively soon, you know, maybe just a couple months in, I switched over and consistently became the Pyre Hearts. Speaking of worms and the Pyre Hearts, well, Radium is a person after my own heart here. Going with the Gilman first. And I think this may be the first time we've seen a demon today. Oh. Just taking the Star Splinter from one of the crones and putting it on Jody. So interesting to see what strats Cranium will bring to the table here, and Anor will be pleased to see perhaps some sap plays. But what talisman? With the Rite Nite, the chance to come back instantly from banishment. Okay, now worm on both sides, it would appear. Iroder also planning on using Gilman here. Anor is pleased by the saps.
Sir Gilman.
Now, last one here for Core. Looking like it'll be Headwind. Going all in on the rekindling as well. At least with the sap it was. But now, quick throwing Headwind, you don't see that too often. But here we are. First right for Core, at least on an actual Rite Nite. So welcome to the Rite Club. Happy to have you. And first to score here against Iroder, using Gilman for 15 damage plunge. No prayer beads on him, so he won't be coming back, but look at that huge implosion there for Iroder. Sets up potential opportunity for Jody, but just a little bit of hesitancy there from Iroder, and that was enough. Give him a chance to recover, although that might have been due to lag.
Lag spikes are back.
Lag spikes are back? Yeah. Is it getting any better just by waiting around here, or no? And just...
I can try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we... I'll give you a countdown here. We'll go 3, 2, 1, resume. 4. Throws it off their own pyre, but it works. Just deflects out. Headwind hopping around. Trying to avoid Jody's huge aura, but Jody does eventually banish him. Iroder.
My screen is freezing.
Completely frozen.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, even on... Yeah, Core, how's it on your end? Is it also really laggy for you?
It's pretty much the same problem.
Okay. That doesn't seem good. Tam says it may also be buffering a lot on Twitch as well. Did you say it's getting any better on your end, Iroder? Is that what you were saying?
Not really, but I'm just trying.
Yeah, Failure and Anor say also getting choppy on the stream. This is strange. Okay. Let's see if we can finish up this right. Or, well, maybe. Maybe it's unplayable at this stage. Otherwise, you know, after this, we'll take a closer look at some of the other things we can potentially do. See if we can make it perform a little bit better. Yeah, I'll double check my internet, see if I have anything that's is misbehaving
Banishment for
once this ride is over, I think. Just to make sure.
Tizo's aid.
There's Iroto throwing it in for 15. Stream's buffering all the time.
Side burns just as true.
Yeah, for people watching the stream, does it get any better if you refresh the page at all, or is it still going crazy even after that?
Sir Gilman's
There's a
aid
throw
was true.
from Core there for 14 damage.
The withdrawn's adversaries gained
Oh,
an
and a
edge.
catapulting Gilman at that. Interesting. Might be the first I've ever seen a worm jump. Seems better after refreshing. Okay, so that's good. At least on the Twitch side. It may have been a little bit wonky for a minute there, but maybe it gets better after refreshing the page.
Beaufort banished.
So hopefully that addresses at least the issue from that angle. But here's our rotor, throwing it in for 15 with Gilman.
The withdrawn are now favored.
Okay, yeah, it does seem like the refreshing the page is working on the Twitch side, so that's good. Gilman here for Core. Goes down. Oh, and I wrote her looking for that dramatic explosion there from the Imp to set up an easy score, but can't pull it off. But now it's Jody. And she does have Celestial Spike, so she can banish with those throws, although doesn't need it there. Opportunity, though. 30 damage throw right here. Dropping Core down to 40. Yeah, those are some big jumps there from Gilman. But big banishments from my rotor. Gets infinite stamina by going through the portal. And that's enough for Jody to speed over to the Pyre and throw it in for another 30. That puts Core on their back foot here. They did go all in on the rekindling, I believe chat was saying, so even a score here may not be enough for our rotor, but we're about to find out.
Divine intervention.
Indeed. Back up to 50, or no, 70 life. And with that, that means we are practically tied at this stage. Technically the slimmest of leads for Iroda, but no more. After that throw from Core, dropping Iroda down to 59. That means now a slim lead for Core. Good banishments there from Headwind. Oh, just barely misses the jump into the Pyre. Free orb here, Iroda takes it. Thinking about going through the portal with Jody, does. Knocks back defenders, has the infinite stamina, banishing throw, gets rid of Headwind. Opportunity here. Oh, look at that! Does somehow manage to get a throw off. I think perhaps even as Jody was getting banished. And that means that now Iroda retakes the lead, but this one is remaining close here. I swear Gilman just flew. Jody avoids banishment. Thinking about going through the portal, does. In range? Yes, she is. 30 damage throw. Tizo down. Gilman for Core. Oh, just misses the mark here, but still has it. Hops around, but gets banished. Jody. Well, Core had that portal blocked up. Able to banish Jody as soon as she goes through. Now on the offensive with Gilman. And plunges here for 15. Huge explosion there from my rotor. Send up Jody going through the portal. And this could do it. That it does.
GG.
Well played.
GG.
After the lag spikes, something happened, and this is has probably been the most lag-free so far for me.
And Core, on your end, toward the latter half of that, right? Did that start to feel okay?
Yeah, it felt much better.
Okay. So, yeah, it seems like perhaps this is one of those crazy Steam Remote Play days in which, at moments, it'll be unplayable.
Off, which is a good sign, because I practiced this like for hours, and without lags, I can do it consistently, but with lag, like this drive-by worm throws are pretty difficult.
So in that case, I mean, I can try to see if there's anything else I can do to... Let me take a quick look here to see if I have anything that obviously could be making things a little worse, but I suspect that what we're seeing here is just remote play being its inconsistent remote play self. I think that's what we're experiencing.
So at the end was fine, but I would still like to swap out now.
Okay.
Headache got a bit worse.
Ooh, okay.
And I
No
have a
worries.
proper European sleep schedule now, so...
Let's not mess with that. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So in that case, that means we are looking for... Let me put the screen back on. We're looking for someone else to swap in for iRotor. Anyone in chat who would like to do that? Anyone who's been waiting in the wings?
By the way, we really need some more withdrawn players. Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior Isla?
Excuse me? What? Get out of here. One moment while I boot iRotor. You have been kicked. Enough of that nonsense. Baylor says I'm in. Alright.
Hey, I didn't know that Celeste was hosting this Rite Nite. So we have a Fate Mirror match?
That's true. We'll have Fate versus Fate. Oh, man.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
get
we're both
Baylor in.
Fates. I'll have to be the true.
True Nightwings for you, Baylor, in that case?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me...
Then have fun with the rides, and I'll probably hop out now and maybe watch the VOD later.
Awesome.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for stopping by. Happy to have you.
See ya.
Alright. There we go. Have you set up on stream. Oh, and we had... Somewhere along the way, Core got changed over to ask you... Oh. I guess once Failer's in here and has a controller plugged in, then we'll be good to go on that. It's a true Fate versus Fate? That it may be. Oh, let's also make sure that Tor is not a CPU. That's probably not a good idea. Alright, we got you in, Failer?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Awesome. Okay, so chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see between Failer and Core. Otherwise, we'll have them take whatever they want to take here. And let's see, we are now over halfway to our Civil War objective. Well done. Okay, good idea. Anor says, you know, we should probably have Glorious Tradition, the Fate theme. Yeah.
Good call. I appreciate that.
If this is truly a Battle of the Fate, then you gotta do it, right? Okay. Anything else, or will that be it?
You might even say it's a duel of the fates.
Oh ho ho. Alright, I think that's gonna be it, so let's get started here.
true Nightwings shall confront the fate. Welcome.
Okay, so free to take whatever team you'd like here.
Who shall conduct?
And I bet, this is truly a battle of fate, then we're gonna see a fate setup here from Thaler. Starting off with Dalbert. And we saw Core go with Gilman first last time. May see something similar here, going with the Banishing Throws.
Sir Gilman.
Then Raji second. It's certainly looking like it may be all fate.
Exile.
Then Pamitha next. I don't think we saw Core use Pamitha last time. Luminous Idol, getting infinite stamina, or full stamina, when she picks it back up, the orb. Then Almer, in the last spot, as expected. Quick throwing talisman, but that does mean 100% fate for Phaler. Oh, and is he going with the Ninja Savage strats? Looks like he may be. And last one for Core. Quick throw, the usual setup here, not Ninja Savage. And yes, quick throwing talisman as well. So here we go, our battle of the fate. Two normally fate players, although Phaler this time going on the true Nightwings and starting things off with a Dalbert plunge for 20 damage. Does have prayer beads, so he will come back, but there is the Savage teleporting to the orb, then Almer following up with a quick 20 damage throw. Dalbert back at it here, and does snake his way in for another 20 damage plunge. Almer teleports back to the orb, the throw intercepted this time. Core with Pamitha, over to Gilman. Bides his time, gets the stamina back, gets the throw off, but it looks short. Almer. Thinking about it, the throw. It really looked like that went through two defenders, but did somehow make that one in. And Dalbert speeds in for the 20 damage plunge and takes the win.
Good game.
GG. Anor says blessed curs.
Thank
Also-
you, Anwar. They are blessed, aren't they?
And Core, in case this wasn't clear, Phaler is very good.
Well, if I've been doing this for 2 years and wasn't good by now, I'd be pretty sad.
I mean, he is the creator of the Rite Club, so, I mean, same idea there. Perhaps to be expected that the originator of said group would be a strong player. But anyways, chat, let us know what, if anything, you'd like to see for the next Rite between these two. Any requests in mind? Nora says he is the one and only scribe present. We do have both of our previous Rite Nite tournament champions, our Solium Cup champion, Phaler, here today, along with our Golthanian Cup champion, Cam, in chat today. So we have the best of the best here with us. Champions are another thing. We're talking specifically scribes. That is true. That is true. Alright, not seeing any requests from chat here. So why don't we just set you two up for another Rite? Have you take whatever you want to take. Cam, that's me.
The true Nightwings shall
We're on the book. And dare I say, Phaler has at least one strat that he likes to go to in this location. Lead off with Delbert, with the prayer beads, as he did last time in the first spot. Cam, not a fan of the book. It's going to be Snadra first here. Or at least appears to be. And does have shoulder smash. Oh, Core knows. Core knows. See if that changes Phaler's idea here at all, or no? Is he gonna do it? May go the triple curve strat. Yes, that is what I was thinking Phaler might go for, but alternatively could go back to the all fate setup as well. That is certainly a well-rounded team, but we have seen Phaler go triple cur on Book of Rites on many a prior occasion. Goes for the explosion there. Vengeful Vow. Now, Headwind. Perhaps going all out on the shoulder smashing. Not a bad idea if you're expecting 100% curves on the opposing side. Goes to the additional starting Pyre life as well on the Talisman. And yes, as expected, will be 100% curves for Phaler. We were saying Blessed Curves last time. Well, Phaler is fully embracing it here. Goes with the Titan Tooth. That means that will stun whenever Phaler jumps into someone with Barker. Which will happen even if Barker gets shoulder smashed, I believe. But here we go. Interesting matchup here. All curves against all nomads. You don't see it too often. You see the curves a lot, but very rarely do you get the all nomads. And look at that. Shoulder smash doing work there for Core. Core with a strong defensive team to go against these curves, but the question for Core, I think, will largely be, how does Core find a way to get the offense in? Great shoulder smashing again. And Win goes down here, but Snadra's back. Snadra brings back Headwind as well. Oh, but now all the nomads, oh, look at that, I was gonna say, on the offensive half, and perhaps at risk of getting a counterattack from Phaler, but recovered just in time. Snadra retreats. Oh, and look at that, Phaler sneaks under, deliberately not jumping there. I was wondering if we might see that. Phaler knows, of course, that there is a lot of shoulder smashing on the opposing side, and deliberately opted not to jump, but then that time, stunned with Titan Tooth, and then had a window to sneak in after that. Dalbert, he gets shoulder smashed. Headwind down. Grookey. Looking to cause trouble, but it's Lendl who has it here. Brings back Headwind, just in time as well. Oh, no one back to defend for Phaler. Just in time with Grookey to intercept, but he goes down, but he explodes, taking out Lendl with him. Might have been the difference between Core being able to score there and what we saw here, Phaler being able to recover. And Phaler hops in with Dalbert. 20 damage plunge. And there is the Titan Tooth. Hour cast from Core, but Phaler doesn't mind. Hops over it. Snadra. Lendl. Lendl's throw intercepted. Phaler on the move. And makes in with Dalbert. Dalbert is, I believe, his prayer beads cur. He is. So that is definitely the cur of choice when it comes to scoring. Oh, was that a Titan Tooth as well? Stunning Core. Allowing Phaler to follow up with another score there. That is certainly Titan Tooth from Barker. Grookey, oh, snakes his way around and makes it in for the winning plunge. GG.
Good game.
What a crushing victory it was. The rite is ended.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
In chat, let us know if there's anything else you want to see in this next rite between these two. what are the exact workings of Titan Tooth? If you pass the orb, can you move? Good question. There are some ways you can kind of work around it. I forget if you manage to pass the orb, you can in fact move after that, even if you were Titan Tooth.
Yeah, that is a way around it. If you're
Okay.
in the air and you know you're about to jump into someone with Titan Tooth, you can pass it. That character will still be stunned, but you'll be able to move at least some.
Okay. A Path to Glory for my rotor. Anything else for this rite? And to clarify on that point, Baylor, does that mean you basically need to preemptively pass when you see yourself about to jump into a Titan Tooth character?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, gotcha.
Very difficult to time it right.
Yeah. Of course, you need to see it coming. Okay, not seeing any other requests here. So why don't we get started? It'll be just the song.
The true Nightwings shall now face the fate.
So take whatever you'd like here. Hockey Puck Arena this time.
The rites.
Okay, they're going with Prayer Beads Orlek. Along with the additional starting Pyre life. Now, Gilman in the first spot here. We saw Core go with that on a few prior occasions, I think. Oh, is Failer going all-out Demon here, perhaps? Like he's taking Jody here. The Lanthorn and more starting Pyre life. Everyone's like, darn, I should have requested Will the Scribes. Then Bertrude with the Range Throw Talisman. And remember, of course, the Crone Throw is unblockable. Now, perhaps Solium's Horn, the legendary Demon Talisman, allowing for additional casting distance and additional starting Pyre life. So it is triple Demon there from Phaler. And with all that starting Pyre life, he's going to be very high up there, just about double what you would normally have. Then lastly, looks like it'll be Headwind here for Core. Ash and Cole for a little bit of starting life of their own. But we're going to be at 205 starting off on Phaler's side to 130 on Core's side. It's one of the strengths of going all demons. And there is Core with an 11 damage throw to start things off. And because, of course, that is a throw, it means that Core will maintain all their exiles here. But here's Phaler, plunging with Orlek. And that is Phaler's Prayer Beads Demon. So we will come back here. Big cast from Iggy here, and now Opportunity. Throw this one in for 30. Does so. Orlek back at it, but he goes down. 4. Gives it to Bertrude, has that range throw. And gets it off, but just slightly off target. Going back to defend here for Core. Phaler can walk it in with Orlek. Ooh. Gilman nearly able to actually use his cast to avoid getting banished there. Phaler hopping around with Orlek, but Core able to banish with Headwind. Headwind only one back here. Now Gilman back. He speeds off, but he gets cornered. And now Ignarius An opportunity here to throw this in for 30.
Narius flung the orb into the flame.
That drops core down to 20. So one more full damage demon plunge or throw would do the trick. And there it is.
The true Nightwings prevail.
GG.
They overwhelm their
Good game.
adversaries utterly. The rite is done.
Alright, let's head on back to versus mode here.
Until the next rite.
Okay, and chat, tell you what, let us know if there's anything in particular you want to see for the next rite, but I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back. When I do return, I want to see the most elaborate rites you have ever schemed up, okay? That's your challenge. That's your challenge. Can you deliver? We'll just have to see. Alright, I'm back, chat. What have you done? What have you done? What do we have? We create a cursed rite? I hope not. I mean, I did kind of invite you to create a cursed rite. And Honor even says, Lids, don't challenge me. I will do it. I will do it. Alright, they maybe know better than I do at this stage.
Alright, so Lids, what the right is I pick Exile's Talismans for both teams, but Core gets all the Titan Stars.
Oh,
Time singer on.
interesting.
Beast Sungris.
It's been a long time since we last did Titan Stars, to tell you the truth.
Unfathomed.
There was a time when we used to use it as a bit of a balancing mechanism, where we'd do things like this, where we'd have one person affected by Titan Stars and the other person has some other form of disadvantage. And we'd experiment to see how they balance out.
The true Nightwings shall confront the fate. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rite?
Oh, and I wrote to put on the sermon intro at the last second. Oh, we weren't quick enough for it, were we? We back things up real quick so we get a sermon intro.
We'll get it next one.
Okay.
Okay, you want me to pick?
Alright, first, go with Fulfred.
And Nora's like,
Talisman
yes.
will be Bottled Void.
Oh no.
For skills, the first three on the left, and then the top right.
These two right here.
Yeah, the middle two.
Okay, so a little bit of rekindling, but no numbing gust.
Exile.
Yeah, maybe not completely cursed here, but we'll see what comes next.
Alright, this one. Go with Menly. Same
Oh, no.
skills as before. And also has prayer beads.
Prayer beads manly.
Yeah.
You don't see that one too often. And thank you all of you who were making your Civil War contributions while I was away as well. Seems like maybe a few of you did. If there are 3 saps on one side, I think we should be fine. Sphaler's not taking any. This should still be fine.
Yeah. And then,
And Chrome knows.
yeah, same skills.
Radium knows.
And the talisman here go with I'm trying to think here. Go with a luminous idol.
Alright, so Phaler, affected by all Titan Stars. Core has, well, not exactly the most optimal of sap setups here. But here goes nothing. Red design, Fall Solium. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, they're moving in with Orlek. Vanishes one. That Luminous Idol getting the huge stamina. Not gonna lie, Bottle Void almost got Orlek there, but he does still manage to make it in for 25 damage plunge.
The orb is up.
Hanley. Wolfred. Goes down here. Only Palmas. He's on the move. Not for long, though.
Some claimed again now.
Orlek blocked. Wolfred. I was gonna say, it feels like these saps are awfully speedy. And that is not a coincidence. That is the Titan Stars taking effect there. They are all speedy saps. Oh, mistimes the shield there. Almost down. Orb would have hit Core's Pyre, but it bounces out, because that was not coming from Phaler. Phaler with Bertrude. She goes down, though. And Core set up a bit of a wall here. Perhaps an opportunity. Wolfred, oh, nearly blinks in. Bertrude, that throw looks a little bit short, and she actually goes down to the Ball of Void. Palmas. Over to Wolfred. Back to Palmas. Palmas down, but here's Wolfred. Oh no, the pass is not complete. Phaler has it back here with Orlek. Knocks back one defender and makes it in for 25 damage plunge. They are pretty fast, right? How much is it? Is it 8 quickness? It's basically the equivalent of the Tailwind Crest for all of them. Throw here from Bertrude is unblockable, and it is on target, so it makes it in for 30. It is 8, yeah. So imagine combining that. Oh, that throw does get off. It does make it in for 30 damage, so one more of those and Phaler can remove the first life bar, but of course Core has those 3 saps, and I believe has the 10 rekindling on all of them. So we'll have a somewhat significant second life bar. But yeah, I'd be interested in seeing the Titan Stars active that makes the saps quicker, and then combining that with the Tailwind Crest and seeing just how fast you can make, say, a super speedy Wolfred. Speaking of super speedy Wolfred, no, he gets stopped there. Feel like that would have been within range of our most often Wolfred setup that we see these days, that being the Nutrition Stick Wolfred setups that Anor uses. But of course, no Nutrition Stick means not that same range on the blinks. So Core without that luxury here. Almost down. Core gets free here. Orlek hopping around. Gets blocked, but the orb is back here. Core gets it. Wolfred. Blinks around. Oh, avoids Raji for a minute there, but does ultimately get banished. Core trying to shut down Orlek, but here he comes. And Bottled Void takes him out. It's worked twice now. And yet it may not be enough. I don't know. I mean, you're adding 16 quickness to his sap. What's their starting quickness?
The flames withstood what
Okay, and there is the throw. Does trigger. Oh no! The rekindling, but Phaler had the Crone Salute saved up turns Core into a bunch of howlers,
Good game.
walks in for the win.
Vastly outperformed their adversaries.
A devious
It's
maneuver.
complete.
To be honest, that was not fun.
That was a difficult one. That was a tough one. It was definitely, maybe not the most cursed of rites, but it was a cursed rite. Then again, you know, I did kind of invite that. So, suppose that was the only way that was ever going to end up finishing out, right? You guys would come up with some elaborate cursed rite. Anora says, you know what? And requests exiles. Okay, let's reset ourselves to defaults here. Bit of Malith. Okay. I may know where this is going. Oh yeah, let's deactivate Titan Stars as well. Good call. Are we gonna need... We may need to do the anti-Titan Stars right here. Just to get over the Titan Stars hangover.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will.
Okay, let's set things up and then we'll do that real quick. I know you've requested exiles, but I don't think you specified which ones just yet. But maybe while you're doing that, why don't we just get rid of the Titan Stars hangover now? So we'll start a rite and then we'll just basically cancel it out because the little bug.
The true Nightwings.
Okay, and I forget how far we need to go. Is this enough already? You're just back out at this stage?
Welcome.
I think it is, right? Okay, now we head back in. Now we should be fine. Iroda says dirty deal. Okay. Oh, right, let's put our summon intro back on. Good call. And we have savages. All savages. One of them has to have the legendary talisman. And we're talking about a pinball rite. So if you can bounce the orb off the walls and into the pyre, that is the name of the game. And the deflecting cast bouncing off all the walls with the legendary talisman as well. So, this will be an interesting one. And Dirty Deal is perhaps the right song to be playing for this one. Let's give it a shot. Core, I don't know if you've been around for any of the rites in which we've tried this out, but yes, you can in fact throw the orb off the walls. And because this arena is so small, you can actually score by doing that.
You are gathered at the pit of Melith. Here you may yet prove your worth. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. True Nightwings, stand ready. The fate, stand prepared.
So all savages, one of them has the legendary talisman. And I'm not sure we've seen Gareth yet today, have we? I don't think we have. Which is a travesty, of course. Here's the stowaway with the throwing talisman. Okay, or quick throwing talisman. And Phaether will put the legendary savage talisman on her. And not one you see very often, because it is generally considered one of, if not the worst of legendary talismans. It bounces your casts off walls, and it deflects very unpredictably. So then we have Almer here. He'll have legendary talisman for Core. Then lastly, of course, we have Gareth for Phaether. And he'll be on the range throw talisman. No? Maybe the banishing throw talisman. Taylor thinking about it. 6 with range, okay. 4 with Gareth here as well. And on Core's side, going for the banishing throws, okay. It's a little bit different there. And here goes nothing. Savages, Pit of Melee. We'll see to what extent they can bounce the orb off the walls for the scores. Oh, look at that. Big cast there. And rid of 2 defenders. That might have been on target there, but Core intercepts. Taylor has it back. But as soon as he tries to pass it to a different exile, he loses said exile. Oh, and that was very close. Just need a little bit more range on that throw, if anything. It's on target, though. 4. Intercepted. Gareth. Intercepted. That one may not have been on target there. Gareth's throw intercepted as well, but he's not done yet here. Then he gets banished. Palmer bounces off the wall, but not quite this time. Gareth goes down. The other Gareth passes it up to Almer, and there we have it. Off the wall and into the Pyre for our first score of the day. At least first score of the ride, I should say. Stowaway, intercepted. And I think Gareth, yeah, he's the range throwing Savage for Failure, so had the range to do that, but he is a little more complicated the further away you are, of course. Sniped there. Stowaway, pops over, throw, does go straight in. Now, what is our policy for this right on non-deflecting throws? Do we have a policy on that? Free score? Okay, so here's the deal. In case this wasn't clear, we're going to specifically go for, and exclusively go, for scores that bounce off walls. So you'll see, like, the first score that Taylor had, for example, where he bounced it off the wall and into the Pyre. And so if you score that way, all good. If you score any other way, then it means no, and your opponent will get a free score here. So since that was a throw that went directly into the Pyre and did not bounce off the walls, we'll give Baylor a free score here. But just heads up, that's the plan going forward, is deliberately trying to bounce your throws off the walls in order to make it into the Pyre. Now it's tough, but that's kind of the whole idea of it. As you see there, you might be close to the Pyre, might have an opening, but can you work the physics to actually make it into the Pyre? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. That might have been a setup there for Core, but goes down. Almer. He gets banished. Gareth goes down as well. Here's Core's Almer over to the Stowaway. Stowaway. Oh, she goes straight in with that one. Now, there are some times when those Savages, they do kind of auto-target the Pyre. There's the free score. Okay. Here we go. Back into the action here. Stowaway down. Good cast there from Gareth against Gareth. Here is Gareth. There's the deflecting throws we're looking for. Ooh, just missed that time. Stowaway for Failure. Looking for the angles. Oh, look at that. Doesn't get much closer. Failure banishes one with Almer, then picks it up. Oh, nearly had that auto-target on the Pyre, then knew he couldn't do that. Oh, that was dangerous, though. Again, I think an auto-target. Didn't quite make it in, though. Almer off the wall. Not that time. Stowaway down. Good cast there from Gareth. Gareth down the other side. Can get the throw off in time. Gareth banishes the Stowaway for Failure. Almer goes down here. Pours Almer with the orb. Avoids banishment. Just the first time, not the second time, though. Stowaway goes down here. Gareth bounces off the wall. Not quite this time. Stowaway versus Almer. Oh, Stowaway vanishes twice here. Opportunity for Almer. Does make it in. There you go. That's the idea. And that ties us up at 40 apiece. Taylor nearly deflected the jump off the wall into the Pyre. Well, that was an auto target there, but that got intercepted, so no problem. Stowaway. Looking for the angles. There is, again, you can bounce off the wall with your jump as well. Sometimes it's even more unpredictable, though. Stowaway. Gareth. Oh, that was close, but not quite. Big cast there, opportunity, but still need to bounce it off. Not quite. This is the thing, is sometimes you're like, well, I mean, surely. What? It's on top of the Pyre. Okay, I don't know. How do we feel about that one, chat? The Pyre, the orb was just physically on top of the Pyre, so there was nothing that Core could have done there to avoid scoring. I feel like we might need to give Core a pass on that one, because, I mean, what do you do? Like, you can't pick up the orb?
I don't care, it's fine.
Core says I don't care, so we'll give Phaler the free score here. But that's an interesting gray area. That means next score will do it here. Okay, there with Gareth. Deflecting throw. Oh! Double deflection.
Good game.
Nifty physics there. Well played. GG. Off 2 walls and then in. That, I think it's safe to say, we can certify was a sick score. No, except not that part. No, that was blessed by the most stylish man in the downside. That's why that one went in. Clearly. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Then Core said that Core didn't care. And so Core basically just said, alright, Phaler, go ahead and do it. I was with you and Or, but it seemed like Core was saying, yeah, go ahead. Okay, so let's head back to our default settings here. Unless, of course, chat, you have other things in mind. Was it because of Shooting Star? Oh, did the throw would have made it into the Pyre, but there was someone who would have intercepted it. So they technically did block it, but they got banished in the process because of Shooting Star. So the orb was just sitting there on top of the Pyre. Okay, interesting. Yeah. That's a first, but you know, if we make a habit of doing more of those types of rites, then it could end up happening again. So we might need to think about what the correct procedure is for when that does come across. Okay, but not seeing any other requests here. So why don't we go into the next rite and just have you two take whatever you want to take.
The true Nightwings versus
And we're back at the book.
the Fate. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
We'll see if we have the same all Curves versus all Nomad showdown that we had last time, but no. Already appears as though that will not be the case. Phaler going with Deluge here first with Vengeful Vow. That's true, you could make the case that maybe the Pyre, the person who has the orb on their Pyre just needs to pick up the orb. Maybe that's the answer? Now, Stowaway, it looks like. in the second spot here for core. For a second there, maybe it was just wishful thinking, but I was kind of hoping we were going to see triple worms on both sides. Not the case, though, unfortunately. Now, Pamitha in the last spot for Phaler with Pyre Beads. Last one for core will be Snadra. Goes for Sacred Bond. Bring back friends when core steps on their portraits. In Typhoon Bottle, preventing Phaler from sprinting, jumping, or throwing whenever everyone is banished on core side. And here we go. Or with it. Gilman here avoids Pamitha at least the first time. Then Phaler follows up with a secondary plunge or secondary cast. Stowaway brings back Gilman and scores here with the throw. Worm versus Worm, and this time it's Phaler returning to favor. 13 damage this time, cuts it ever so slightly short. So technically still advantage to core here. Core wins that exchange, then gets banished. Deluge. It's banished. Go away. And for the throwing angle, one might think, oh, look at that. Quick throw after ending up behind the Pyre of all places. Deluge doesn't have the range on that throw. Comes Gilman. Maybe the same story here. Yeah, that's a little short. Pamitha goes down. Snadra banished. So way back to defend. The only one here. Throw is unblockable, but it's a little bit short. And Phaler is still here, but he gets banished now. So away up to Gilman. He goes down. Phaler with Pamitha in the scoring position here. And she plunges for 20. And she does have Prayer Bead, so she will come back. And with that, Phaler takes the lead. That throw is short, but it does banish everyone on core side. Core did take the Typhoon Bottle, so Phaler is slowed here. It's Gilman. Go to the Stowaway as Gilman goes down. Stowaway. Brings back Gilman. Makes a move, but gets banished. Gilman. Trying to get rid of Raji here. Takes the orb and has opportunity. Goes for the plunge. 15 damage. That means core retakes the lead here. Snadra against Pamitha. Pamitha down. Snadra. A little lonely at the moment. Here's the Stowaway. Snadra. Oh. Banishes one, but she goes down. Just Stowaway back to defend here. And Pamitha makes it in for 20 damage here. And again, she will come back. She had Prayer Beads. Stowaway. Pamitha. Two-pronged approach. Snadra down one side, Stowaway down the other. Snadra down. Comes back here, and Gilman's quick. That throw is slightly short. Pamitha. Blocked. Gilman might have banished one. There's Deluge with a 9 damage throw, and a quick one at that. Barely even see him charging it up. Deluge is back. He explodes. Gilman. He goes down. Deluge again with the throw. It's unblockable if it has the range, but it does not. Blows up on the Stowaway, but Stowaway comes back when Gilman revives her. Here is the Stowaway. Goes for the throw as she's banished. Oh, but doesn't have the range on it. Pamitha. Harp pushes her way in for 20 damage plunge. Dropping core down to 18. One more of those and that would be game. Deluge is the only one on Phaler's side that cannot finish this in one score. Actually, Raji may as well. Phaler definitely hoping to go with Pamitha here, but gets a 15 damage throw here with Deluge, and he'll take that. Because now any score would certainly do the trick. Nadra. Over to Gilman. Gilman down. Deluge hops in for the win.
The true night
GG.
winds prevail.
Good game.
Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all. The rite is ended.
Well done. Let's head back and chat. Let us know if there's anything you want to see for the next Rite. And just to check in on you two, Phaler and Core, how you feeling? Good to stick around? Either you need to switch out?
I'm good for a couple more.
Yeah, me too. And the lag, there's not really that much lag.
Okay, great.
Yeah, performances look pretty well so far.
Nice, nice. Perfect. Yeah, seems like it was just remote play. Being remote play. Being difficult. So anything else we'd like to see, chat, or do we just want these two to go at it and take whatever teams they'd like to take? Okay, not seeing any requests here, so why don't we just hop in? Have another one with you taking whatever you'd like to take.
The true night wings shall take on the fate. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And it'll be Zaxiana first here, which may actually be the first we're seeing of her today.
Exile.
Love Prayer Beads, which is functionally, of course, quite similar to what we saw Phaler use last time with Pamitha. Then Dalbert in the first spot here for Core, with Prayer Beads on him. Then Raji, the Lanthorn.
Exile.
And Jody. With Legendary Talisman for the additional casting distance. Then, oh, perhaps going double harp here is Phaler. And with Tamitha, with the Titan Tooth. John Harps can be a decent offensive option even. Stunning the defender and then swooping in for a score. Now Lendl with the Typhoon Bottle in the last spot here for Core. And here we go.
Commence.
Stalbert first for Core, but he goes down. Amitha, blocked. Zaxiana swoops in for the 20 damage plunge to get things started. Stalbert gets rid of Tamitha, and picks it up but gets banished. Lendl nearly successfully hid behind that hockey puck there. Does still go down. And now Zaxiana. Dalbert can't quite chase her down in time. Amitha gets rid of it. And gets rid of Dalbert as well. Lendl, Jody. Jody down. Amitha plunges for 20 here. Now she was not the Prayer Beads Harp. So she is permanently gone here. Taylor down 1 exile in that case. Down 2 at the moment. Hockey Puck not cooperating with Core here. Jody down, and suddenly it's only Lendl. Even Lendl gone here. Dalbert back. Oh, but Core able to defend. And look at that. Uses the super speedy hops from Dalbert to score for 20. And he does a fair beat, so he will return for Core. Saxiana makes it in for 20 damage plunge. That lowers Core down to 20, so one more of those could do the trick. A Titan Tooth, oh, will stun Core here. And Phaler finishes it with the Tamitha.
Good game.
GG.
It was as though the scribes themselves stood by their side. Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right. We'll head on back.
Until the next rite.
In chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for this next right. And it sounds like Phaler, Core, you guys were saying maybe 1 or 2 more rights you'd be good for. Could stick around for another.
Yeah, I think this will be my last one though.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can switch off if people want to play.
Okay. Heads up in chat. Yeah, we may be looking to get some new people in soon. So if anyone is interested and available, then we'll be happy to get you in. Sounds like Phaler's good for 1 more. Core saying if you want to hop in now, I can swap out. But if we don't have any immediate volunteers, then perhaps we'll just go for this next right between you two, and then we'll look to make the switch.
Maybe we choose each other's triumvirates.
Like, you make Phaler the Chastity?
No, I mean like the actual like people,
Oh,
exiles.
yeah. You'd like?
But there's no duplicate, so you can't choose 3 sats.
Don't know if that will be... Shall we make that an unofficial agreement, or shall we lock that one in? Nor says Knights of the Sea as well. Okay. All right. What? Knights of the Sea. Then Anor is going arena on the boat. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. What is Anor doing here? Anor does an exiles request. Okay, so this is interesting. Because we did have Core made sort of an unofficial suggestion, if you will, for saying that you pick each other's teams. But then Anor followed up and did an official request for all demons. Technically speaking, it does mean that Anor has locked that one in. If that's cool with you guys. You down for all demons on the boat?
Yeah, I was interested in the Coranium request, but I don't know. Anor put her lip coin where her mouth is, so.
This is true.
Yeah.
I don't know, Anor, if you're willing to wait on that one, and we can go with Coranium's request for this one, or unofficial request for this one. Yeah, picking each other's teams is what Core was saying. At least for exiles. Okay, cool. Anor, do you want to save the boat and Knights of the Sea as well for the full boat theme for that one? Should we delay all those things? Oh, no worries, Anor. We save all this stuff to go together? Because there's definitely a theme to it, I think. Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay. There we have it. So for this one, then, we'll do you two picking whatever teams you want to pick, or picking the team for your opponent. And next one we'll do a Norse.
The true Night Wings shall confront the fate. Welcome.
Okay, so this is Core picking for Phaler first.
Okay, so go Headwind. And what's the bell on the right? Next to Prayer Beads?
It's 10 leech.
Oh, okay. Okay, do that one,
I don't think Amanda is here today, but somewhere
And then do everything on the left.
Amanda just got this little tingle in the back of her spine, like somewhere someone is using Legion talismans.
All right. Let's see. Okay, go with Barker. Go with Jomier's Fang, the legendary talisman.
Probably also a contender for
Top
least
and
popular
two
legendary
middle ones on
talisman.
the right, and then top on the left.
With these two.
Those two, and then the two on the right. Your other right. Your other right. Your other right.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, do the same with Ruby. It's fine. Get that talisman back.
Barker stole it. So then it's one on both sides, and then it's both of those?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, go Tizo. And go the red ring. Yeah. And go, so both of these two, left and right one. And then the two on the left. Yeah.
Okay. Edwin Tizo.
Alright, go with Manly.
Oh no.
Go with Black Hoof. No, sorry, Black Claw. My mistake.
Cannot cast. Uh-oh.
Yeah, same masters as before. The one on the rekindling and then the top three on the left side.
Say that again?
Same masters as before. When I did this to you the last time. Top three on the left, and then one on the right.
Go Wolfred.
It's like, you're gonna give me a sap, then I'm gonna give you a sap, okay?
But I'm gonna be kind. I'll give you a nutrition stick.
Oh, Honor is pleased.
And then I'll give you, everything on the left.
Alright, for this last one, let's see. Yeah, go with, let's see. I go with Penmitha. For this one, go with, let's see. Go to the next page. Left side here, the throwing score one.
Which one?
Left side, Twilight Shard.
That one there, yeah.
Yeah. For skills, go let's see, top 2. And then the furthest to the right. Yeah, Relentless Pursuit. And then
It's like, wait, no one ever takes that one. What does that even do?
Left. The right-hand side on the left-hand tree.
This one?
Sleight of Wing. No. Sleight of Wing is what it's called.
Oh, this one. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
The salute. All right, and here we go. They chose each other's exiles. See just how mean they were to each other.
This is such a useless sap.
Oh, well, I mean, Sapling is currently blocking the orb right now, so he's successfully blocking Paler. Delbert, or rather, Rookie, had an angle there, but he got blocked. Kizo flies over Pamitha. He gets blocked. Looks to explode. Pamitha flies over the sapling. Can't fly over Volfred, though. Edwin. He hops, he throws, and he makes it in for 9 damage throw. Rookie versus Hedwin. Hedwin wins the duel. But not for long. Now it's Pamitha. Back to Rookie. Pamitha going the other way now. Runs out of stamina, though. She goes down. Volfred. Oh, he's got the nutrition stick. Goes for the quick little throw there. 10 damage. Rookie has the orb. Hops around the other way. Stamina back. Oh, and nearly had it there. Manly, oh, and Pamitha down. Big cast there from Hedwin. His throw is short, and now the orb potentially within the safety of that sapling. Time for Core to pick that up. Move it up to Pamitha. No, back to Rookie. Oh, look at that sapling just sliding over there to take out Rookie. Pamitha, stamina back. Flies around, but gets shoulder smashed. Edwin versus Rookie. Rookie able to stop him. Gives up to Manly. Back to Rookie. Waiting for the stamina to come back. Here it is. Hops over the gap. Avoids Volfred and makes it in for 20 damage plunge here. Now, I don't believe anyone has prayer beads. I don't think either player was merciful enough to give their opponent that. So it does mean that Rookie is down here. And we are practically tied. Here's Volfred with time to charge up a full damage throw. So Phaler retaking the lead here. Rookie's cast just short. This time gets rid of Hedwin, though. He gets banished before he can make it in. Volfred. Over to Hedwin. Pamitha flying over. Takes him out. Pamitha once more. Over to Manly. Able to blink out of the way of that cast. That implosion. Rookie. Manly again. Back to Rookie. Retreats a bit behind the safety of those rocks. Blocked on his way in. And Tizo picks it up. Tizo can't get past Pamitha, though. Here is Pamitha. Oh, Harp pushes and makes it in for a 20 damage plunge. That makes things close here. Edwin going for those huge power casts. But well shielded there from Manly. Then the sapling safely blocking the orb. Giving Phaler an opportunity here. No one back to defend at the moment. Rookie back in 2. Is that going to be quick enough? I don't think so. So Volfred makes in with a 25 damage throw. This duel again between Rookie and Hedwin. Rookie wins this one. Stamina back. Oh, but not quickly enough. Volfred rushes him down. Locks down the orb with the sapling. And powers up the throw. And that makes it in. 25 damage. Rookie this time. Hedwin takes him out. Manly. Hedwin, the throw intercepted. Ametha down. Rookie down. Manly shields and deflects that cast back at Headwind. He goes down. Manly looking to move in, but he goes down here. Ametha with the orb. Only one left here for Core. Oh, but she gets shoulder smashed. Wolfred with the throw. And it's enough to trigger the rekindling. Core now down to the second life bar. Edwin. He gets blocked and banished. Ametha. Stamina back here. Blocked. Lands in that sapling, so she goes down. Iso takes out Rookie. Takes out Manly. Ametha back in one. Is that quick enough? Just barely. Over to Rookie. Ametha. She goes down. Manly just barely avoids that big power cast from Headwind. He goes down this time. Edwin can't avoid that cast from Rookie, who's waiting for the orb to return. Ametha now. Back to Rookie. Back and forth between Pamitha and Rookie, but now it's just Pamitha. Gets rid of the orb. Looking to go on the offensive here by casting her way out of those defenders. Oh, and goes for the quick throw. Sneaks that one in for 10 damage. Big cast there from Rookie, takes out Headwind. And denies the sapling placements, and suddenly Phaler, at least for a moment there, did not have anyone back, but Headwind does come back in time. Headwind shoulder smashes the defender, so he's still there. Rookie, can he stop him in time? He gets shoulder smashed as well. Edwin. Core this time picks up the orb, but Manly down. No sapling. Headwind finishes the job. GG.
Good game.
Great match.
Weird game, but good game.
That's what you get when you pick each other's exiles, right? Like, I'm gonna give you this totally nonsensical team. Alright.
Until the stars align.
Yeah, I guess saps are technically not affected by shoulder smash, because they can't fly or jump. So there you go. It's actually a decent counter to what looked like it was just going to be Headwind shoulder smashing his way into the Pyre. But with that being said, I think we were saying that this was going to be the last rite for both Phaler and potentially Core as well?
Yeah.
Okay, and chat, do we have
Yeah,
anyone
GG
who wants
Core.
to swap in?
I think I'm up for today.
Okay, yeah. See you.
Thanks for stopping by. You both let me know. Core, do you want me to kick you, or are you good to go?
I mean, if I can keep playing if no one's gonna play, but I can also.
Yeah, chat, do we have any...
Oh yeah, we don't have to swap out both players at a time. Sometimes that's just one person.
Yeah, and I've not seen any volunteers in chat at the moment. Chat, is there anyone who's hanging out, looking to get in? I know Cam has not yet played today, and she's been hanging out in chat. So happy to get you in if you're up for it, or don't remember if we've seen any other familiar faces who've not yet gotten the chance to play. Anyone up for swapping in here? Because we certainly have the opportunity to do just that. We've at least Phaler looking to get in, or at least Phaler looking to get out, and so at least one spot available, if not potentially two. Like I said, if no one is interested / available, then I can hop in myself, but my general preference would be to get new people in, not including myself. But I gave you a minute. I did give you a minute. And I'm not seeing anything. So perhaps I should hop in here. So Core, if you're up for it, maybe I'll go against you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. Okay. I'll throw my name in then real quick on player 1. And I will not be the true Nightwings. I will be the Pyre Hearts. Okay, let me just make sure I have my controller plugged in. And chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for this rite between us two. Alright, the controller is plugged. And I think Pyre has now registered it. Nice. Okay, not seeing any requests at the moment, so why don't we get this one started?
The Pyre Hearts shall
Hey, Lou.
face the fate.
And no requests here, so we can take whatever we want.
Who shall conduct the rites?
What's up? Did we miss anything, Anor? Did I forget something? Oh, right, of course. I take it back. We did have requests. We very much had requests. We were waiting for Anor's boat rite. That's a good way to start things off here, I think. Okay. So it's gonna be the boat, all demons, and Knights of the Sea. Knights of the Sea as well. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. There were requests. They were just a little while ago, is all. Okay.
Pyre Hearts
So the all demons here.
versus the fate.
And there is a reason for that. Because, well, when it comes to the crazy boat magics,
Who shall conduct the rites?
and who is most affected by them? Well, of course, the answer is the demons. Positively. Because there are some exiles that, or some classes that actually seem to be most negatively affected by it as well. But I'm going to lead off with Orlek. I'm going to go...
Said no Orlek.
Oh, no Orlek. Okay. No, then. I will not Orlek. I will... I'll lead off with Iggy then, I think. And go Oron size on you. Then what do I want? Maybe we're going for the super distant slam dunks, then I think the speed does help. Prayer beads does as well. Maybe I'll go prayer beads on you, maybe Halen Crest on someone else.
Ignatius.
So it'll be Jody first with the additional aura, well, huge aura size there. And then for my second character, I'm gonna go. I mean, what if we just like, you know, do some of this?
Demon.
Okay, also sticking with the Pyre life. And going for... prayer beats, okay.
Ignatius.
And my last one, I will have Jody. He will have the other ring. Now I'm ready to go. There'll be Vids with the quick throwing talisman. On Core's Lest Exile here. Oh, and okay, vanishing throws as well. Look out. Here we go.
Now begin.
Oh, I did not want that. I did not want that.
Praise be to the scribes.
Oof. That was also perhaps a little bit unexpected. Ignarius somehow avoided that. Oh, one second, please. Please don't do that. Oh, I thought I had you there. I thought I had you there. Right. Go, Wiki. Dunk it! Okay, not really the, you know, not the distance slam dunk we were looking for, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. There we go. All right, Fizzpalette. From here, maybe? That's... No, not really. Not really what we wanted. We'll just go for the throw, but I was hoping to go for the big dunk from at least that spot. What if we... Whoa! I mean, we'll dunk from there, but that's not really what we're looking for. Still looking for the range dunks here. Have yet to really find them.
Swift recovery.
Not quite. Not quite that time. Looking for that second boost for going over the second pit of water. Hide. There it is. Oh no, Iggy! Just shy. Just shy. Nearly had it there. That honestly might have been the best dunk we've had thus far.
Once more like that, and we are finished here.
Oh, okay, that one was silly. Don't mind if I do here real quick. Oh, darn. Okay, I BM. I'm sorry.
The Pyre heart.
GG.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly. The rite is complete.
Alright. Well played.
Until the next rite.
I don't play demons.
No, I am not a huge fan of the demons myself. The boat, I find it can be fun if you specifically try to use those little pits of water to give yourself a big boost on your jumps. And sometimes you can get crazy, like full range of the arena dunks. Didn't really manage to get any of those this time around, but that's the goal at least. So I will note, for the record, chat, I do think Orlek is best for that. And then you said no Orlek, so... I don't know. I don't know if that's what you wanted, then you probably should have let us use Orlek. I'm just gonna say. Anyways, let us know if there's anything you want to see for this next rite. Otherwise, I'll just set us back to the defaults. What would you say, Core, is your preferred setup?
As in, what do you mean?
I guess from a, like, class standpoint. You know, like, I'm kind of known for being a worms guy. You're saying you're not a huge fan of the demons.
I don't know, I like Gilman.
Uh-huh.
Worm, I guess. But I don't really like, the missile worms. I don't like playing like that.
Ah, darn. Yeah, you did have some pretty crazy, like, catapult Gilman halfway across the arena jumps, though. That was cool. And Orlek is just too OP to have on the boat, but that's part of the fun of it. You jump from the opposite side of the arena into the opposing Pyre, and it doesn't always work. But when it does, it's pretty sweet. But okay, fair enough. Maybe that means he's OP. In many situations, that's definitely the case. But I just feel like on the boat, you know, give it a shot, see if you can pull off the crazy full arena plunges, and just have some fun with it. But anyways, not seeing any requests here from chat, so why don't we just start one up here and take whatever we want to take.
The Pyre hearts shall confront the fate. Welcome.
Okay, so
Shall conduct the rites.
with that in mind, what if, you know, just what if, theoretically speaking, like, what if?
Sir Gilman. Sir Gilman.
Okay, we have Gilman in the first spot for both of us. Then I'll go Deluge here. I'll make Deluge my Exploding Worm.
Sir Deluge.
Ooh, a Snattera. Okay. Okay.
Sandra.
Typhoon Bottle as well. Was that a Shoulder Smash you took on her as well?
Yeah.
It was, okay. Noted. Noted. Well, I mean, you know what the Last Exile's can be. It's Lady River. Did somebody say Missile Worms? Ooh, Titan Tooth. Very anti-jump setup here from 4. See how this plays out?
The power of the aura.
There we go.
First dousing.
If not the first worm, then why not the second?
Beauteous.
Oh, yep, that one was... I was asking for that. Ooh, well done. That's the throw. Even better. 14 damage, not quite full, but it does, of course, keep all worms in play here. The important part.
Tread lightly.
But how? But how?
Sir Deluge did fling himself upon the flames.
There we are.
Orb engulfed in fire.
Get that? How dare you? Well, that vanishes as well. I should probably not pick that up until it lands.
Now to the flame.
Alright, Lady River, let's see it. We'll ring around the rosy. Oh, or not. Go ahead, banish him. Oh, except the harp has the shield, so it doesn't matter. Well done.
Have served her true. The orb is taken. 'Tis what the scribes ordain.
I may or may not have just sprinted directly into Sandra.
And it is done.
GG. Well played.
The Pyre hearts prevail. They brushed aside their adversaries without
You can really
too much
cycle
trouble.
those worms a lot.
Yeah, that's basically the whole idea behind the setup is as soon as one worm goes down, it's going to immediately go to the next worm and just full speed ahead straight at your opponent. It's a lot of fun. I recommend trying it out if you like the worms.
Till the stars align.
Okay, so chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see for the next one. If so, we are happy to oblige. If not, of course, we'll just take whatever we want to take. Okay, Baylor's choosing Exiles here. Oh, and Anor getting the Bastion song request. Okay, nice. Hold on, let's get the song set up then. Let's turn off in-game music real quick here. I'll tab out and summon Tariq Bot. Oh, and someone beat me to it. Thank you, whoever did that. Okay, Phaler's Exile request is Cur, Imp, Savage. Phaler, I know exactly what you're getting at here. I know exactly what the idea is. I know what you're getting at. Oh, wrong one. Not been the breaker. You had something else in mind. Now that you hear it, you're like, hold on. What? What is this? Maybe Brushless Patrol? Yeah, that one's kind of similar to this. That might have been the one you're thinking of. Not that one, no. One moment, please. Please hold. In the meantime, we will jam out some Bastion tunes. Yeah, and Phaler, so we'll get Glorious Tradition on the next one then. Remind me. Is this the one? Okay, great. In that case, let us continue. So it's Cur, Imp, Savage, and then, of course, this song.
The Pyre hearts shall now face the fate.
Okay. So, like I said, Phaler, I think I know what you're getting at here.
The rights.
I think I know what you're getting at here. Am I wrong? I got it. Alright, that means we got a Haraji up here. Now, I tend to take different masteries than Phaler does. I think slightly different. He tends to go Titan's Rage, I tend to go Save Return, but hopefully you will accept that one modification. What's up, Chewing Dragon? How's it going? And I think I know what you're referring to as well. How have you been? How have you been? Alright, and now, Phaler, if you don't mind, I'm going to make one other modification. Hope you don't mind my adding the most stylish man on the downside. You understand, I'm sure. Doing well, but you want to sleep? Yeah, it's pretty late for you, isn't it? Nope. Careful. There we go. Alright. Here we are with our Cur Imp Savage setup. Oh, I thought I had stamina. A little sliver left, but who needs stamina anyway, right? Thought I saved a bit. Hold up real quick here. Sheriff. He's out of stamina. That was a mistake. Alright, Gareth. Now's your time to shine. Vanishes or something. Not quite quick enough, I'm afraid. Only had a minute to stop by, but good to see you for that minute we had you, Chewing Dragon. Here we are. I think I got that. I wasn't sure what was core teleporting to the orb and whatnot. Oh, where you headed? Yeah, you actually can't cancel out of that once you've loaded it up. Can at times get you in a bit of trouble. There we are. GG. Oh, well, happy to have you, even if just for a bit, Chewing Dragon. Oh, and the song ends right as we're finishing the ride as well. Look at that. Perfect timing. And it loops too quickly. Let's see, and then I think, speaking of songs, we had a few song requests queued up here. Let me just double check what those were. I think it was Phaler was next. Then it was Chewing Dragon. Yeah, Phaler had Glorious Tradition. Then it was Chewing Dragon said, well, like, ADHD Anthem. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to mean Thrash Pack. Also, let's turn back on the in-game music here real quick. Okay. Okay, and was there anything else we wanted for this specific rite other than just Glorious Tradition, the song? What do we think? Okay, they were also requesting Exiles, okay. I mean, that, oh, maybe your, Phaler, was your thought we'd go Glorious Tradition plus that Exiles request in the same rite? I bet that was it. But now 2 harps and imp? Okay. Going for, basically, in case it wasn't clear, the Phaler's previous Exiles request was basically a recreation of, or way of, making it such that people might take the full Fate team of Dalbert, Raji, and Almer. That's why I was saying, I'm gonna make a slight modification to it. Hope you don't mind if I take Gareth instead. Yeah, it just didn't quite line up, unfortunately. But, no worries, no worries. Okay, so 2 harps and an imp for this one. Let's check it out. Let's make it happen. Am I the, yeah, I'm actually the Archjustice. I live in the Commonwealth.
Who shall conduct
50% of those statements were true. Okay, so it was 2 harps and an imp. Okay. I have an idea. I'm gonna do something that I don't think I really tried doing. So this is gonna be experimental. It might work, but it very well may not. Okay, let's see. Then we'll go... Yeah, we'll go with the sisters. Then for you... I'm gonna go aggressively on the talismans here. Oh, and next one will be the boat as well, okay? Going with the Lanthorn on Messenger Imp. Strong option for sure.
Messenger Imp?
And I'll go Tizo. I'll probably use Lanthorn as well.
Tizo.
Given how I think I'm gonna use some pretty silly harp strats here. May need to have Tizo covering my back. We'll see if I can make it happen, but at least in theory, there's a plan. Alright, and here we go.
The orb commence.
Oh.
You are powerless.
Alright, well, here goes nothing. Hold on. No, okay, well, never mind. The plan may already not work.
Mark upon the flame.
No, actually, come to think of it, I think it is possible. Hold on. I think it is possible. I didn't work that time, though. Excuse me? You flew over my head? That was rude.
To the adversary's flame.
Oh, almost. Almost. Oh, not quite.
Sacred law. The two triumvirates are neck and neck.
Yeah, no, it's maybe extremely impractical and not really even doing the thing that I hoped it would do. Seems to be the case.
One triumvirate stands
Except maybe now when they're... That was kind of fun, though. There it is. There it is.
a show of strength from the fates of both.
I did not want that. I did not want that. Oh, not quite. Not quite. It's tough. It is kind of tough. Okay, that was a bad idea.
Everything which you hold dear. Neither triumvirate is closer than the other.
Aha! Okay. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Opportunity, perhaps, if I'm quick. There we go. Doesn't look quite as dramatic as I might have hoped. If I'm being honest. Can you leave Amethyst out of this? Aha! Haha! That kind of works in a way that I didn't really expect it to work, but okay, we'll take it.
We are finished now.
Come hither.
I almost pity what transpired there. And it is
GG.
Okay.
the Pyre hearts prevail. And such a well-conducted victory it was. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright. Well played. And let's head back.
Until the next rite.
And so now we have Boat and we have Thrash Pack. Anything else we'd like for this rite? Also, Chewing Dragon, I mean, I know you said it's late, but if you're up for it, I'm happy to swap out for you. Happy to get you in. I don't know if you're actually available to do that.
Actually, I think I'm probably done.
Okay, no worries, Core. Thanks for stopping by. Happy to have you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Awesome. Alright, I can give you the boot if that's helpful. There we go. Hope to see you next week. And yes, so in that case, chat, we are definitely looking for one more to fill in. At least, if not, I'm happy to swap out as well, in which case we can get 2 more in. But not sure if there's anyone still hanging out in chat who has not yet gotten the chance to play who'd like to get in. I suppose it's late enough in the night that at this point, if someone who's already played wants to get back, could also try that out. Yeah, like I said, Chewing Dragon, if you're up for it, now's a great time to get you in. Don't know if that really works for you or not. Then again, Chewing Dragon did say that they were going to be here and then pop out, although then Chewing Dragon made subsequent requests, so I don't know if Chewing Dragon's still here. Perhaps not. But yeah, do we have any takers in chat? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Like I said, I think at this point, probably late enough in the night that if you played earlier today, we can get you back in if you want. That should be fine. I don't think we're holding anyone else up. I think for the most part at this stage, it looks like anyone who has wanted to get the chance to play today already has. Unless there are new people who have not yet gotten in, who are waiting to do so. I know Cam was in a little while ago, but has obviously not yet played today. Don't know if she's still here or interested and available for that matter. Otherwise, I mean, we might be looking to be a little bit early, but we could potentially even start talking Liberation Rite time. Possibly. Anyone want to hop in for just one more, and then we'll wrap things up with that, I guess? Well, then again, I suppose June Dragon did do the request for the boat and Thrash Pack, so I'd like to at least get the chance to do that. That would probably be, at the very least, good to get that in, and then Liberation Rite at the minimum. In which case, like, Baylor or Honor, if you want to get back in, give it a shot. I know Honor previously, the lag was not great. And it's also getting quite late for you, of course, but if you're up for it, could see if it's any better now. Perhaps? Perhaps not? No worries, no, too sleepy to do so. I got you. No worries, no worries. Okay, well, in that case, it does look like we may not have many people left. Oh, Phaler? Okay, gotcha. Let's get Phaler back in. Yeah. So, Phaler, if you're up for it, I'd say at the very least, let's do Chewing Dragon's requests for Boat plus Thrash Pack, and then if we want to, we could go straight into the Liberation right after that, or if we're interested in playing a little while longer, we can do a little bit more than that, but we can play a little bit by ear.
Yeah, it seems celebration time to me.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
many people left.
Yeah. Let's do Chewing Dragon's request now. Not that you need much of a warm-up because you're playing earlier, but just to make sure we get the chance to honor that request, and we'll go into Liberation right after that. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. All right. Looks like I have you all set up on stream, and just to confirm, you doing okay on... Yep, got you in. Perfect. All right. Let's do it. So we are, of course, on the boat. And we did do an all demons right on the boat previously. That tends to be the go-to.
Shall conduct the rites.
I don't know if we want to go for that again this time, because, I mean, I was underwhelmed by the lack of slam dunks from at least halfway, if not the entirety, of the arena. So maybe we can do a little better with that this time around, or, of course, alternatively, we could just go for whatever. Don't know if you feel inspired to go either way here, Phaler.
Your call, I think.
Okay, maybe I'll take one demon, and, you know, when it seems feasible, I'll see if I can make it happen. But maybe I'll take a few other non-demons to just kind of round out the team a bit more. Why is Phaler's nickname Lidios Videos in my Discord? Good question. You'd have to ask Phaler that. Let's see. I think for my second person, you know, I'll go Sheriff here. I've got an idea for this team here. I think it was just to be silly. Because Vids is, of course, meant to be short for videos. And so, Phaler opted to take the, yes, I guess it's sort of supposed to be as if it's in Spanish, Lideos Videos, I don't know. Something kind of like that.
I am the fake lids.
Oh, honestly, I didn't even pay much attention to what you've been going with on your side. But, okay. So I'm going to go Tizo. I'm going to be basically the true Nightwings in full.
Tizo.
Yeah, okay, so Phaler is going all demons. I see. He's going for it. So Phaler, we will be judging this right from your perspective based solely on what is the longest range slam dunk you managed to achieve. If you get a full arena slam dunk, then you automatically win the right, regardless of what the ultimate score is. I'm gonna try doing this. Oh no, that didn't work the way I wanted it to work. I want to try that. No, still not what I want. Still not what I want. I want to get into some crazy black magic. Whoa, hello, Orlek. That was an interesting one.
The orb bathes first.
I was trying to do a crazy black magic jump, but it just couldn't quite get it all to string together. Oh, that's your... What? Excuse me? Excuse me? I thought my Orlek was going to banish your Orlek. Thank you very much. Oh. Okay, maybe not the throw. What the heck? Excuse me? It's like, I'm gonna land it. No, oh, no, I'm not. There's some boat magic for you. Not quite. Not really. It only would have worked if it was a straight up dunk, I'm afraid. Otherwise, it's just a little disappointing, is all. It's not quite good enough. Okay, well, Aura is not back yet. Nothing to stop Orlek with there. I don't know. What has been our longest distance slam dunk thus far, Failure? Because I'm a little bit underwhelmed. A little bit underwhelmed, if I'm being honest.
I got near enough. Just half the arena, 60% of the arena on point.
Okay, okay, we'll give it to you then. We'll give it to you.
The rite is ended.
Not any crazy halfway across the world ones this time around, but I suppose that's part of what makes it special, is you can't consistently pull it off to begin with, right? Otherwise, you'd get sick of it. That's part of the wonder of it all. But anyways, so we've now done that request for Thrashback on the boat, and unless we have anything else that is urgent, it sounds like perhaps we're thinking we go Liberation Rite from here? Unless we have any objections to that? Going once? Going twice? Sold to the Fall of Solium. Alright. Let's do it. Term intro. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we have here, but we'll turn off the in-game music and we'll go back to TariqBot. And let us make that happen. Alright, Baylor's got it all primed, ready to go for me. Awesome. And so that means this will be our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night. So that means no request for this one. We'll just have Phaler and myself going with our best teams to wrap things up. So, make it happen.
Good evening, exiles. You heed the summons to the fall of Solium. Here you may step closer to achieving freedom. Try not to let the pressure get to you. Higher hearts stand ready. The fates stand ready.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to go with here, maybe some of this. Or even, yeah, I'll get greedy. I'll go Prayer Beads. Okay, now Phaler probably knows what's coming next. I do believe he has seen me use this setup on prior occasions. Was he going all? Oh, all savages. Interesting. Stowaway looking like she'll be a plunging savage, though, not a throwing savage. Interesting. Okay, then I'm gonna go Tizo. There we are. Will it be a third savage? No. It'll be Raji with the Lanthorn. Alright, and here we go, our final rite of the night. Liberation Rite between Phaler and myself. Best of luck, Phaler. I would like to believe I was capable of intercepting that one when I was standing directly in front of it, but... Again. But, okay. There we go. Fool me twice! Return the favor. Okay, like, getting a little annoyed with 3 times in a row you throwing the orb straight in my face and me not intercepting it, but okay. There we go. That's not who I want. What is this nonsense? Ooh, not quick enough. Not quick enough, I'm afraid. Oh, and yeah, goes for the plunge with the stowaway, like we were saying. That was a Prayer Vids Savage. Ooh, interesting. Why, hello there. Oh, I ran out of stamina. Oops. Oh, that's gonna do it. GG.
Good
Oh,
game.
The fate prevails. Right conducted with aplomb. The rite is done.
And with that, like we said, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So, that will wrap things up here, but thank you all. Those of you who participated in the rites today, and those of you who made all of our requests in chat, we had some pretty sweet ones. I'm gonna duck out of Discord, just as the Pyre Hearts one is starting. Sad face. But, I will see you all next week. So, catch you later. And that does mean that, well, now we are Tariq botless, so let's turn back on the in-game music real quick here. And let me throw this screen on as well. And thank you all, like I said, for those of you who participated in the rites today, those of you who were watching in chat, and those of you who made the requests. Always lots of fun. We are doing these Rite Nights every 3:30 p.m. US Eastern Time on Sundays, and the best way to get more involved if you are interested in participating yourself is to join the Rite Club Discord group. Actually, well, hold on. That's the wrong one. That's the other Discord group. Rite Club Discord group, the second one there. If you're interested in joining my own Discord group, that's the first one there. Then, other than that, my name is Lids. I'm, of course, hosting these Rite Nights. And I will post the VODs. If you missed anything you want to check it out, you can check that out on Lids Vids on YouTube as well. Then on Fridays, I am doing some... Usually that's our Witcher 3 day. However, there's actually a Path of Exile expansion coming out this Friday, so I'll be doing that this Friday. Then that means Saturday will be Witcher 3 Blind. Then, of course, Sunday we'll be doing Pyre, this. Then on Tuesdays, we're also doing Valheim with Jawless Paul and friends. That's been a lot of fun. Recent addition to the schedule. Then on YouTube, like I said, posting the VODs for the Rite Nights, posting the VODs for the Witcher streams, and then also doing a bunch of Gwent videos, the Witcher-themed card game. There's now new events coming out for that every week, so that's been a lot of fun too. Then outside of that, potentially sneaking in, I've been saying this for like the past several months, but I think, I mean, when I get the chance, I might sneak in a Hades video here or there as well, but we'll see if that ends up happening. That's just about it for me. So if you haven't done so yet already, you can of course hit the follow button to get notification when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I'll post there when I go live as well. And I posted it earlier, but if you're interested in staying updated on all things Lids, the best place to do that is to join my Discord server, which is that first Discord link that I provided there. But that's it for me, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.